presented by Allstate. Question is, who will protect home field today? Upset specials for this week. Oh, shoot, I forgot who I picked. Detroit. Detroit over Atlanta. There you go. Sounds good.
And I have Dallas. We were talking about anonymous people. When you start speaking anonymously, you better show up and play. So I'm going to take Dallas over Washington.
Yeah, despite the Texans losing last week, I think they played well. So I'm going with the Texans over the Green Bay Packers.
I am going with the Vegas Raiders over the Tampa Bay Raiders.
Oh,
yes. Okay. Folks, it's going to be a good one. And we kick off just a few minutes away.
We'll get you out to your game.
People are switching to Ram than ever before. The power has shifted.
Now during Ram Power Days, get $1,250 bonus cash on the 2020 Ram 3500.
Some of us, our daily journey is a short one. Save 50% when you pay per mile with Allstate. Pay less when you drive less. You've never been in better hands. Allstate. Click or call for a quote today.
It was the night before kickoff when all through the house, not a player was stirred, not even a prop. Brady polished his helmet to give it a gleam, excited for game day with his brand new team. To the front of the sofa, run down the hall, kickoff is here, and it's game day, y'all.
At Chewy, we know the best moments with our pets are made even better with food, so you can save on their favorite meals in between meals. Late night snacks, toys that look like meals, and even prescriptions, all delivered right to your door. Get great prices and fast free shipping at Chewy.
I'm a Verizon engineer, and today, we're turning on 5G across the country with a coverage of 5G nationwide. And in more and more cities, the unprecedented performance of ultra-wideband, the fastest 5G in the world. It will change your phone and how businesses do everything. I'm proud because we didn't build it the easy way. We built it right. This is the 5G America's been waiting for, only from Verizon.
Coach Smith gave me an opportunity at 17, my senior year in high school, to buy the original Mike Sub Shop, now called Jersey Mike Subs. What does it take to get involved? It takes commitment, energy, and sharing your life with your team and your customers. It was my first job and turned out to be my life's work. So join our team today and grow from within. And who knows, maybe you will become an owner like I did.
Last election, millions of voters were unable to cast their ballots. Why? No game? What's yours?
November 3rd, direct draw, straight to the polls.
If you're there before the polls close, they have to let you vote. Curly, Russ, let's go.
I used my mail-in ballot and checked online to make sure it was counted.
I registered early, and I got it done. I am a voter. The NFL encourages the civic engagement of our fans, players, and NFL legends. Make your game plan at nfl.com/votes.
The NFL Today on CBS Sports is presented by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
And welcome back to the NFL Today. And now Amazon takes you out to the sights and sounds of the game between the Steelers and the Titans. Let's get you out to Nashville with our announcers, Ryan Eagle, Charles Davis, and Evan Washburn. JB, Week 7 of the NFL, and we join you from Nashville. Only 3 teams remain undefeated, and 2 of them are here. Ben Roethlisberger of the Pittsburgh Steelers off to their best start since 1978 at 5-0. The Titans are also 5-0. Derrick Henry has been a wrecking ball for Tennessee as they sit atop the AFC South. Welcome inside of North
this has been a franchise of big backs. Earl Campbell, former MVP in the NFL, running through people. How about Eddie George, who has told Derrick Henry to oppose his will on defenses? He's been following that lead in a big way. Witness that straight arm that we'll see plenty of today. Big backs are in vogue in Tennessee.
The AFC Offensive Player of the Week, his production has been through the roof last week. In fact, he outgained 6 teams in the NFL in Week 6. Think back to 1 year ago. Ryan Tannehill was named the starting quarterback of the Tennessee Titans. It has changed his life, his career, and has changed the fortunes of this organization as well.
It certainly has. Their trajectory has just gone straight up. Remember, they make the change, they get to the AFC Championship game. They keep the change. They're undefeated so far this year. He has taken over this entire team with his leadership.
A change on the offensive line. Left tackle, Pro Bowler Taylor Moran, torn ACL last week. Veteran Ty Sambrano steps in to help protect Tannehill. Meanwhile, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they are on pace to set a new franchise record in scoring, and they have a revelation at the wide receiver position. It's the rookie, Chase Claypool.
Heard Nate Burleson talk about him on the NFL today with his catch radius and the things that he brings to the table. Look what he does. Outside the numbers, traditional wide receiver beats the defender off the line of scrimmage. Move him into the slot. But don't cover him with a linebacker. That's an easy play for him. That's a touchdown. And then ice the cake. He can run the football well with jet sweeps. 2 touchdowns on the ground thus far this year.
Big hit defensively, though, for Pittsburgh. Let's go to Evan Washburn.
Yeah, and a season-ending knee injury for linebacker Devin Bush. It's a brutal loss for the Steelers defense because of his impact all over the field, but the fact that he also never came off the field, so there's very little proven depth behind him. A playmaker sideline to sideline, often leading this team in tackles. So in steps, former undrafted free agent linebacker Robert Spillane, a special teams ace that up until last week had only played in 9 defensive snaps in 3 NFL seasons. He will wear the green dot, guys. They have confidence in him, but he will not play every snap. They'll work him into that full-time role.
And Evan, this is a confident defensively. 18.8 points per game. That's 3rd fewest in the NFL. They're on pace for 77 sacks. They've been a sack machine. And splash plays, big ones, sacks, interceptions. They seem to do it every single week. Time for us to do Project Smarter, presented by the Home Depot.
The Pittsburgh Steelers made a smart move trading for Minka Fitzpatrick last year. There was one of those splash plays, an interception for a touchdown against Cleveland just last week. And A.J.
The Steelers and Titans will finally play today after a postponement a few weeks back. Both teams at 5-0 here in NFL 2020 Week 7. We'll also have live reactions, play-by-play of Cowboys and the new Washington football team. The Redskins hosting the boys after Dallas lost this past Monday night on Monday Night Football against the Arizona Cardinals. Steelers, Titans about to kick off. Thank you for tuning in and watching my live reactions, play-by-play. I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96. As always, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. The links in the description below with that thumbs up button. Share as well, hashtag NFL, chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated. As mentioned, both Pittsburgh and Tennessee, the Steelers in Music City, USA to take on the Titans. Both teams at 5-0. Pittsburgh last week, they defeated the Cleveland Browns 38-7. Tennessee needed overtime to defeat the Houston Texans, who Pittsburgh has already defeated this year. They have yet to play the Jags or the Colts in the AFC South, but 1-0 against the division, entering today in a rescheduled game. As mentioned, this game was postponed back on October the 4th due to COVID-19. Steelers are actually supposed to be in Baltimore today to take on the Ravens. That game was pushed back now until next Sunday. I'll have live reactions play then, so be sure to tune back in. Hit that red subscribe button if you haven't done so already. But Pittsburgh on the road for the first time since week 1. When they defeated the New York Football Giants in the first of the Monday Night Football doubleheader back week 1. So a little over a month since they've been on the road. We'll have to see how they play because that game, the first few games of the season, they didn't start out fast as myself and them included, along with everyone I would think hopefully would have liked them to have started out, but that's just typical Pittsburgh Steelers football for you. But as of late, 5-0, 4-0 for the first time since '79, 5-0 now for the first time since '78. They won Super Bowls in back-to-back years, so history on their side. But a tough game, and it would have been a tough game a few weeks back if this game was in fact played on October the 4th. Now here October the 25th, 3 weeks later, week 7 rather than a week 4 matchup. They're gonna have to stop Derrick Henry. As last week and the week prior, when the Titans played on Tuesday night against the Bills at home, Henry's had close to almost 500 total yards the past few games, as he almost had 200 total yards last week against the Texans, as that game did go to overtime, as mentioned, so he had about an extra quarter of play compared to all the other players around the league, of course, stat-wise. But it's still going to be a hard matchup, in my opinion. They have to stop Derrick Henry just as they stopped Cleveland last week. And if they're able to do that, Pittsburgh should be in a position, if they can make plays, of course, on offense with Roethlisberger and company. James Conner running the ball extremely well as of late, too. So for myself, I'm looking towards a fun, exciting, old-school ground-and-pound backyard football game here this afternoon on CBS. 1 o'clock now here on the East Coast. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Kickoff momentarily from LP Field, Nissan Stadium in Nashville. But yeah, just run the football. Open up that play action. We know Tannehill can ball. He was around this time last year named the starter for the Tennessee Titans, taking over for Mariota, who's now in Vegas with the Raiders. They host the Bucks coming up in a few short hours. But with both run games, it's honestly late. Once again, what defense is going to bend but doesn't break? We're going to have James Conner and Derrick Henry probably getting a total combined of 50-plus carries, if not even more, honestly. Henry, he's going to have at least, you would think, half of that in carries. But only time's going to tell. If Pittsburgh can, as mentioned, stop Tennessee's run game as they stopped Cleveland's top rushing attack last week, like I said, they should be fine. But then in the meantime, quarterbacks opening up. Ben's a 2-time Super Bowl champ. As mentioned, we know Tannehill can play. He's a damn good quarterback, honestly. He's better than average. He's better than half the league, to be honest, because he has a good run game. And when you have a good run game, you don't have to do everything. He can run the ball, too, so keep an eye out for the play actions, and then Tannehill tucking and running and potentially picking up some first downs. But with the run game and defenses, probably going to be out there a lot today. Time possession going to be a factor, but who's going to convert more big plays on offense? Whether it's passing or rushing, who's going to convert more big plays? Whoever does, I think, is going to end up winning, regardless if Conner or Henry have big games, stat-wise. I think both of them, could care less about the stats as long as they go out and pick up a victory. As both teams are 5-0, there's only 3 undefeated teams left. The other, Seattle, they're on the road tonight on Sunday Night Football in a flexed-in game down in the desert, taking on the Cardinals. As mentioned, the Raiders were supposed to host Tampa tonight on Sunday night, but there were some COVID issues with that, so they bumped the game up to 4 o'clock just in case they had to postpone it to, of course, later in the week. But they moved Seattle, Arizona to Sunday Night Football. And now, in the meantime, we're underway. Tennessee on to kick off, touchback. Here comes Big Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Steelers, as mentioned, beat the Browns last Sunday. As going back to those first 2 games of the season, not starting out as fast and strong as they possibly could. Last week, that was a different story. It seemed like from start to finish, they ran all over Cleveland. So we'll see what Pittsburgh does today. They're on the road, as I mentioned, for the first time since mid-September, week 1. Ball going to be batted down to the line of scrimmage, incomplete, so 2nd and 10 from 25. Also, in the meantime, Cowboys in D.C. taking on the Redskins, the Washington football team. NFC East showdown on Fox in my area, and then also in my area on CBS, of course. Steelers, Titans in a rescheduled week 4 matchup now today during week 7. We got fans in the stands down in Nashville. It's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Trips top of your screen. Pittsburgh going right to left. Juju in motion. The motion's back out. Ben out of the gun looking to throw over the middle. It's caught by Juju Smith-Schuster at the 31-yard line. He's going to be brought down to 32. Pick up about 7 yards. 3rd down and 3 here about 20 seconds in. We've got some other good games on here this afternoon in the 1 o'clock slot. For the most part, though, the better games of the week. They're this game with Pittsburgh and Tennessee, and then also later on tonight, as mentioned, with Sunday Night Football, Seahawks, Cardinals, and then Monday night tomorrow night with the Bears and the Rams. But coming up at halftime, we'll have stats and scores from the first half and from around the league, so stay tuned. Trips on a bunch now near side. It's 3rd and short, 3rd and 3 from the 32. Ben out of the gun once again. Pass complete near side. Juju Smith-Schuster, or Deontay Johnson, excuse me. Number 18, Deontay Johnson, former Toledo Rocket, back from a back injury, I do believe it was, as he was out last week against Cleveland. And big first down pickup on 3rd and short for the Steeler offense. From 46, 1st and 10. We go to Tannehill and Henry on the Titan sideline as they're awaiting to get in the ball game. Pass going to be caught far side, right side of the 50 now for Pittsburgh. That's Juju Smith-Schuster once again. And he's going to get about 5.5, 6 yards, depending on the spot. It'll be 2nd and 4. They give him 6. Skins with the ball to start off. Dwayne Haskins lost control, got benched. Kyle Allen came up from Carolina, connection from Ron Rivera. He went down with an injury. Alex Smith stepped in. First game back for him in almost 2 years, a couple weeks ago. Kyle Allen starting there today for Washington. 2nd and 1. Now Pittsburgh near side, and that's Ray McLeod on the end around, and then we go flying in the Titan bench. Some pushing and shoving as it seemed like a few players got tangled up there and everybody just collided and fell down. But that's what happens in those type of situations. He almost took out Mike Vrabel in the meantime. But a big first down run by Ray McLeod. Pittsburgh on offense so far this year, they've been, with the wide receivers at least, running a lot of end rounds with Chase Claypool and Ray McLeod, it seems like, who's stepped up as well. Connor motions out, far side, top of your screen, 1st and 10 from the 39. Empty set. And in the meantime, Pittsburgh's going to have to call a timeout. Play clock was winding down, so the Steelers have to burn a timeout here, not even 3 minutes into the game with 12:22 to play in the first quarter. Just make sure they get set, everything right, of course. Don't mind the early timeout, but of course you don't like to see it by any means. Yeah, how we got here, the schedule changes for this matchup that has a very, very deep history. Pittsburgh and Tennessee, originally for a few weeks back, postponed, of course, because of Tennessee's COVID outbreak. And then Pittsburgh was supposed to be in Baltimore today, and then that's now next week. So Pittsburgh going on the road now after having 4 straight home games. They'll be on the road the next 3 weeks. Tennessee, Baltimore, and Dallas. All on CBS. Same formation, empty set, 5 wide. Slant over the middle. It's caught by James Conner. And he's going to get about 3 yards or so, I'd say. It'll be 2nd down, Pittsburgh. First down for the Redskins, the Washington football team. Still getting used to that. I think everybody is. Hell, I think some people still call the Chargers the San Diego Chargers. Hell, even the LA Rams, the St. Louis Rams, even though they've been in both teams at least back in LA for a while now. going on 4 or 5 years. Handoff out of the gun on the draw. Flag comes in late from behind the line of scrimmage, so this is probably going to get called back for a hold. James Conner on the run. He got about a few yards, I'd say, but it's coming back. Holding on Okafor, and they're going to replay second down. See if it was a good call or not. Yeah, that's old. That's old. You know, there's holding on every play. They just don't call it all the time. But yeah, that was old. He got caught. Tony McFarland, rookie back out of Maryland in the ball game. He's going to motion out near side. Another empty 5 wide. Ben looking to throw. It's caught. Vance Ronald McDonald on National Tight Ends Day. He gets about 5 yards to the 40-yard line. It'll be third down. Very quick pass to the tight end. Former 49er. Sam Fran in New England taking on Garoppolo's former team and the Patriots. 3rd and 11 from the 40. They need a 29. Juju in motion. Pittsburgh, another quick pass on the slant, complete. Deontay Johnson, first down, Pittsburgh at the 25-yard line. 2 big catches by Deontay Johnson on third down on this drive. Both first down pickups as he scrapes some turf off of his face mask. Yeah, we've seen a lot of good runs by Pittsburgh so far this year. Good blocking up front of the offense line, of course. But then a lot of end rounds, as mentioned, and then a lot of very, very quick, short passes over the middle or screens as Ben's getting the ball out, probably faster than he ever has in his career as he hands off. And that's James Conner once again, the former Pitt Panther. Yeah, it's been a while. I remember that game. That was a year after the Jesse James touchdown, non-touchdown play against New England in mid-December before Christmas. Pittsburgh has not scored a touchdown on their opening drive now in 23 games and running. Going on 2 years. That's hard to believe. Conner, once again he fumbles, and it looks like the Titans have it. And then Chase Claypool might want to watch himself. Okay, Pittsburgh recovers. Yeah, that's a fumble. Good strip by Tennessee. And then Conner somehow, some way was able to recover. But then, of course, players from both sides saying, "Oh, first down us, first down us." And then Chase Claypool was doing that right in the face of a Titan defender. Looks like Malcolm Butler. So Chase Claypool not in the mood here today. Maybe Pittsburgh will go to him to shut him up. Handoff Conner. Good stiff arm. Right at the 13-yard line. He's going to get down to around the 10, 11-yard line. It looks like 1st and 10. Steelers. Take that, Derrick Henry. Battle of the best stiff arms in the National Football League this year. At least he didn't fall down like Josh Norman did by any means. Buffalo playing the Jets today, but still, come on. 1st and 10. Pittsburgh taking up about half the quarter here. Knocking on the door, 1st and 10 from the 11. Have about 8 shots now to get in the end zone. Benny Snell in the backfield. Pass near side, back shoulder, incomplete, intended for Deontay Johnson, 2nd down and 10. Green Bay leads Houston 7-0. Still making plays. Jets up on Buffalo 3-zip. Jets only winless team in the National Football League. As we have 3 undefeated teams. 2 of them today. Seattle playing tonight. Second and 10 after the incompletion. Ball at the 11 still. Ben out of the gun. Another quick pass near side. Eric Ebron, he's going to pick about 9 yards. It'll be 3rd and short. See if they go for it on 4th down, if they don't get a first down here on 3rd, about a yard. Rather than kick a field goal. I mean, you'd still like to take the points, of course, but then you'd have to you'd be forcing Tennessee to drive the length of the field. Then hopefully they can punch it in, though. Get 6. Handoff, Benny Snell. He's going to be right there at the first down marker. We'll see if they give it to him. They should, yeah. First down Steelers. So now 1st and goal at the 1. We got 4 tries to score a touchdown now. And, of course, if you don't get it in, you could settle for a field goal off of Boswell's toe. They cut Colquitt at punter. Brought back Jordan Berry this week. But then, as I was saying there, forcing Tennessee to drive the length of the field. We've seen Derrick Henry cap off 95-plus yard runs for touchdowns in his NFL career coming out of Alabama a few years back. So you got to score here. You got to score a touchdown. Ben under center, man in motion, fake the give to Claypool on the end around. Play action caught. James Conner, touchdown Steelers. Steelers now lead Tennessee. However, we got a flag on the play at 6-0. Pending the flag and then the extra point, of course. 6:33 to play in the opening quarter. It's going to be coming back. It's going to be a hold on Pittsburgh. Personal foul, face mask on Okafor once again, and he's got 2 crucial penalties on this drive. How the hell does an offensive lineman get a personal foul face mask against him? That's nothing. Well, okay, maybe afterwards. Okay. So maybe a decent call. 1st and goal, Pittsburgh. They replay the down, but the ball's spotted now back at the 16-yard line. So they put a few ticks back on the clock now, too. 6:33 to play in the opening quarter. Tied at 0 after the penalty, no touchdown. Still 4 tries to punch it in. See what they do here. Trips in a bunch, top your screen. And if you can't punch it in, so field goal, of course, but don't want to get there. And Ben's just going to shuffle it, and it's caught somehow by Eric Ebron at the 11-yard line. That's where he's brought down at as well. 2nd and goal, and then it's getting chippy here early on. Referee, the white capper, right in the middle of it. Ben talking some trash as he was hit a little late, maybe. Tackled down into the ground. But he was just running around in the backfield and then ended up just lateraling it, shuffle pass, up in the air. And then Ebron somehow came down with it. So it's going to go. And it was a slant over the middle. However, it was short of a back shoulder. But, hey, it's a completion. It's a touchdown. And that's all that matters. Pittsburgh still scored points on their opening drive. First time in almost 2 years they scored a touchdown now on their opening drive. Steelers lead 7-0 against the Tennessee Titans. We have the Titan offense on the field when we return. Dallas now, Andy Dalton. 2nd and 3 Cowboys. Ball at the 8-yard line. Not very good starting field position once again for them. Zeke on the carry. Hopefully he doesn't fumble as many times as he did last Monday night. But the boys and the Skins tied up at 0 about 6 or so minutes in. But with Pittsburgh and Tennessee as we hit a commercial break. Steelers lead 7-0 if you're just now tuning in. Thanks for tuning in if you are. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button. Chat questions and comments. Always greatly appreciated, along with super chats and super stickers. Be sure to share and subscribe as well. 1st and 10, Dallas, fake the give. Dalton rolling out. And it's going to be incomplete. Intended for C.D. Lamb out of Oklahoma, rookie receiver. 2nd down. But we'll get back to the action with the Steelers and the Titans momentarily following this commercial break.
Audiobooks, of course, podcasts.
Originals. Bestsellers. Future bestsellers. Sleep stories. Sleep story. What are you talking about, sleep story? Malcolm. Oh, wow. Malcolm. Malcolm. Hey, no. Roxy. Hey. Roxy, get out of my house.
The most inspiring minds, the most compelling stories, all in one place. Audible.
At Burger King, we have flame grilled beef with lettuce, onion, tomatoes. Wait, is that supposed to? Oh, yes, it is. The 2 for $5 mix and match deal.
Ben Roethlisberger went to him.
So back it up. 15-yard line for Tennessee will open up number 2.
A kickoff return out past the 20 to the 25, holding on the return though. So Tennessee begins at the 15. Now we got another flag and another hold.
Offense number 81. Half the distance to the goal.
And this time it'll be half the distance. That's on Johnny Smith. And they'll replay first down. So it's going to be first and a mile.
Come from behind to beat Houston. Tannehill goes for 364 yards, 4 touchdowns. They set a new franchise record with 601 yards of total offense.
Ball back at the 7.5-yard line. First and 17 officially for number 17, Ryan Tannehill out of the gun. Looking to throw. He's being pressured. He gets rid of it. Pittsburgh has it, but that's incomplete over the middle. Second down and 17. Yeah, there's no intentional grounding. There's a few different people there. And now we got our first update. Cleveland on the road and Cincinnati. And Joe Burrow with a quarterback sneak back. Bengals lead early 7-0. We've seen Cleveland on the road this year in the AFC North absolutely getting blown out. So we'll have to see if the same goes today. Second and 17. Henry on the give, 2 yards for him. Tannehill was almost brought down on that incompletion a play ago. Thought for a second it was going to be a strip sack as Pittsburgh just keep bringing pressure. Don't bring too much early here, but just keep bringing pressure all day. Make their offensive line as tired as possible. Tannehill near side. It's going to be incomplete. Nice coverage. That's 20. Hilton. And Pittsburgh forces Tennessee to an early 3 and out.
Had an interception in that game. Excited about the opportunity to do more, to be a versatile player. He saw that one.
So a good start by Pittsburgh on offense, taking up a lot of time, scoring points. Now the defense, a quick 3 and out, almost blocked the punt. And Ray McLeod from the 30 on the return, making men miss. And then he gets out to around the 38, 39-yard line. It'll be first and 10 Steelers from there. But just keep bringing pressure. Like I said, don't bring as much as you would late, but try to make their offensive line as tired as possible. If you stop the run, okay, good. Tannehill's going to have to throw it, then they're going to throw. So he really hasn't thrown a whole lot of interceptions this year, but just after those opening drives, I get it's still only midway through the first quarter, but still, you have Pittsburgh taking up a lot of time scoring points. Tennessee's defense going to have to go back out there now. After the Titan offense was 3 plays, had a few penalties, very, very quick 3 and out. And we'll see what happens, like I said, but it seems like Pittsburgh's, once again, as they did last week, starting off strong. trying to gain control and not let go until the game's over. So, if I'm Pittsburgh now on the second drive, get the run game going with Connor, and then, you know, Ben didn't look bad on the opening drive, but they had 2 crucial penalties, but then they still scored. So that's all that matters. No Claypool as of yet, but they have gone to Juju and Deontay Johnson. James Washington, talk about him and Jalen Samuels. Honestly, they might both be on their way out, depending on what happens, but you know, we'll get there when we get there. It's not like, Samuels, I don't even think he's played at all yet this year. If he has, it's only 50 plays, and Washington's not that good of a receiver anyway. But we got live fans, we got cardboard cutouts too. There's the King of Rock and Roll. So 10,000 fans out of the pistol. Ben gonna hand off McFarland. He gets the 44. The second down and about 5. But yeah, you just look at the first drives. And Pittsburgh scored on the first drive the first time in 24 games. Dating back to December of 18 against the Patriots. Last week, they had field goal on their opening drive. But they break the streak. They have a few good streaks going on defense with sacks and turnovers. But, you know, like I was just saying, and I get it's a full 60-minute game. It's not over until it's over, of course. Ben out of the gun, 2nd and 4 from the 45. He's going to toss it, and then Connor's just going to go down. So it's going to be a loss of about 10 back to the 35-yard line. So 3rd and long should be 3rd and 14. The Lions score on Atlanta, so the Detroit Lions up 7-zip on the Falcons. 10,000 fans about, as mentioned, in the stands with cardboard cutouts too. Good to see Steeler Nation on the road for the first time this year. Mentioned first time they're on the road since week 1, and of course when they played the Giants, there were no fans in the stands in East Rutherford, MetLife in the Meadowlands. Ben over the middle, caught first down, big hit at the 45-yard line. That might be a targeting, honestly, if you look at it. There's no flag, but Eric Ebron with the reception, first down Pittsburgh. And okay, that's a good no call. But Ben early on here going to his tight end Eric Ebron and Vance McDonald, along with Johnson and Juju. But get the run game going here. Take up as much time as you did on your last drive and don't give Tennessee the ball back. You know, play keep away. And then, you know, Henry's not going to get as many carries as you probably would have thought he would get. And you have control. You got an upper hand advantage over Tennessee with a lead on the road. But we've seen Tennessee being able to come back and force a few good late games. Because last week they came back and beat Tennessee, or Houston, Tennessee did, in overtime. Second and 3 from the 36. Ben out of the gun. Complete near side. That's Juju Smith-Schuster, excuse me. Should have enough for first down, looks like. And no, they say 3rd inches. They're going to mark them short. They already moved the sticks, and now they're saying 3rd inches. You can't measure. The chain gang's off by like 5 yards. They gotta move this back. There's no way that's third and a long. That's a first down. Come on. You have to look at this now because you don't know where anything's at.
I think it's the same in football. We both have the supreme desire to play in a certain way. Physical is the word that most people would use.
Okay, so they get it lined up. It's third and about a half a yard. Ben going to hand off. First down run. So first down Steelers after all that.
Dropped at the 31-yard line. And the Steelers have absolutely controlled this opening quarter.
Yeah, and credit. You know, like I said earlier, time possession. Control the game. Tannehill talking over with Derrick Henry, but Tennessee only has one total yard in the first quarter on 3 plays. Pittsburgh's had the ball for like 13 minutes. And they lead, the Steelers do, at the end of one already. Very fast first quarter, but thank you once again for tuning in and watching. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. That thumbs up button. Share as well. Chat questions, comments, super chats, super stickers. Always great. Appreciate it. Coming up at halftime, we'll have first half stats and scores from this game and from around the rest of the league. So stay tuned.
And Rocky Eats was inspired by the Popeyes chicken sandwich, and it was beautiful.
Oh, baby, you got some spell on me on fluffy bun. Love that chicken sandwich from Popeyes.
Get the sandwich for just $3.99. Take it home or get it delivered.
To bring this one back to its kind. No, this is no place for a child. Wherever I go, you.
To answer your question, no, that's a little bit later on tonight. So be sure to tune back in as WWE Hell in a Cell will, in fact, take place inside the new WWE Thunderdome in a few short hours. So be sure to subscribe, and then you can tune back in a little bit later on for more live reactions, play-by-play of WWE Hell in a Cell, and also coming up halftime, as I did for about a month ago when we had Clash of Champions. The early game that day would have been Pittsburgh and Houston, so Pittsburgh playing the AFC South on days of WWE pay-per-views here in the first few months of the season. But nonetheless, due to time, of course, I haven't really had any new WWE prediction videos for upcoming pay-per-views. So as I did with Clash of Champions, preview that pay-per-view at halftime of that game that Sunday about a month ago. We'll do the same today as well, so stay tuned. And then it'll be the same probably for AEW Full Gear on November the 7th. That's going to be the same day as the college football game, a week from Saturday. So, yeah, that's how things are playing out right now. But right now, currently NFL football, Steelers and Titans, WWE Hell in a Cell a little bit later on tonight. 1st and 10. Ben out of the gun. They switch ends, of course. Over the middle, it's incomplete, almost picked off. Intended for Deontay Johnson. Hit him right in the hands and then batted up in the air. Incomplete. Pittsburgh lucks out on that. He should have had that for one, but then 2, Tennessee almost. It would have been about a yard or two behind him. They might, right now, be running that back for a touchdown and tie this ball game up here early second quarter. 2nd down and 10. And now we got a fumble. It was an end around Chase Claypool. And then he's luckily only going to lose 2 yards on that. Almost gets back to line of scrimmage, but does not. Loses about 2. Tomlin now, like, hey, calm down. It was actually a lateral. That would have been a pass from Ben to Claypool. Now, in the meantime, they're starting to run the end arounds and all these little trick plays a little too much, it seems like. So just get back to the basics, go to work. Zebras are huddling up to figure out what the hell's going on. Crew could be doing a better job. They might be respotting the ball here. Forward pass that was complete and then fumble. Okay, so that's what Tomlin was doing. He was saying that was incomplete. I mean, regardless, Pittsburgh recovered, and then they only lost 2 yards. So whether you have a 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 12 right now, it's still 3rd and long. You've got to pick a first down to move the sticks. It's not really that big of a deal. I mean, 2 yards is 2 yards, yeah, but they are in field goal range too, so if you don't pick up a first down, bring out Boswell for the field goal, I mean, everything's going to be all right. They're fine. Unless, of course, you miss a few field goals like somebody did yesterday. 3rd and 12 from the 33. Ben over the middle. It's caught at the 13-yard line. Pick up a 20. Juju Smith-Schuster once again. First down, Steelers. And here early in the first half, Ben going to Juju and Deontay Johnson. Ebron has a few catches. McDonald has one. It seems like Claypool is being double-teamed, and that's opening up Juju and Deontay to get open downfield. Because, of course, when anybody's double-covered, I don't care who it is, somebody's going to be open. 1st and 10 from the 12. Claypool in motion, fake the give to him on the end around. Connor on the give. Another stiff arm from him. He's going to dive. That's a touchdown. He actually reached for the goal line. Actually, they're going to roll him out of bounds at 3. But he actually, unlike somebody did yesterday, last night too, around a little after 7 o'clock, reached for the goal line. Looked like the ball crossed the plane and the pylon was knocked down, of course, but in the meantime, too, it did look like he stepped out. And, yeah, the ball's not across the plane at that point. But we've seen recently the ball hit out of bounds before reaching the end zone, and then it's still either a touchdown or a conversion attempt that was successful, and then here we are. It is what it is. We move on. 1st and goal. Tannehill trying to stay loose, trying to warm up on the sideline. And I don't think anybody would have expected this, not even myself, for Pittsburgh on offense to take as much time as they have. And Tennessee only being on offense now for 3 plays. Pittsburgh 1st and goal, looking to throw. Near side and coming for James. Why are you throwing on 1st and goal from the 1-yard line? Well, I don't know. Run the damn ball. Run up the gut. Hit Connor right in the hands. That should have been another catch and a touchdown. Come on. 65 is eligible for Pittsburgh. So they bring in some hogs. Ebron going to motion out, near side out wide. Handoff to Benny Snell, and he's going to walk into the end zone. Far side, touchdown Pittsburgh. Steelers now lead 13-0 on the road here. 12:16 to play in the first half against the Tennessee Titans. We've had 2 passing touchdowns by Ben Roethlisberger. Okay, the one was called back because of a penalty. The other one was a draw. And then Ben on the opening drive found Deontay Johnson for the score. And now Pittsburgh has a rushing touchdown. Benny Snell from a yard out. Touchdown Pittsburgh. 13. Now 14-0 Steelers against the Tennessee Titans. Now we'll see what Tennessee is able to do on offense. But we just saw Pittsburgh take up more time, and when the Steeler defense was out before, very, very quick 3 and out by the Titans. So they'll get back into it. They'll find their rhythm, build up some momentum, and I'm still expecting a close game late because somebody's going to be giving up plays. I don't know who it is by any means as of yet for either team, but there's no way this game's right now he's gonna turn into a blowout. Now, of course, yeah, that'd be nice, but there. And here we are, 12 minutes to play in the second quarter before halftime. Sorry for any technical difficulties by any means with buffering, disconnect, and reconnect. But like their first drive, like I was just saying, they honestly haven't even been able to do anything because Pittsburgh's taken up like almost 20 minutes of game time. Like, and like I said, I don't think anybody would have expected that today, especially in a matchup with two 5-0 teams. But you have to get control, and then especially when you're on the road at least, to put yourself in position to make plays late if needed to pick up the win. And when they have now a 2-touchdown lead, like, pretty remarkable, to be honest with you. Like, I'm in shock. I'll take the 2 touchdowns, I'll take the points, but honestly, a little shocked that this is how it's turning out. But like I just said, I'll take the 2 touchdowns. We're finally going to get to see what they can do. I'd still run Henry, run Derrick Henry. Tennessee ball, 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. And they're going to fake the give to Henry. Over the middle, it's going to be batted down. Good coverage by Joe Hayden. Pass was intended for 81. Jonnu Smith. Incomplete. 2nd down, Tennessee. Packers extend their lead over Houston as well. So both Pittsburgh and Green Bay on the road, up 14 to zip in the first half. 2nd down, Tennessee. Run Derrick Henry. On the Titans. Run Derrick Henry. Trips near side. And they give it to him. And there you go. He's going to get 11, 12, 15 yards for a Tennessee Titan first down. And if that's the case, Pittsburgh's going to give up that every play now moving ahead. It's going to be a long day. So they'll load the box. I'll try to stop them, but then that's going to open up Tannehill for play action, and then they're going to try to beat you deep. 1st and 10 from the 39. Tannehill under center. Hands off Henry once again. And he gets to the 45-yard line for a pickup of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. Just keep running Derrick Henry. That's all we need to do. And like I just said, they really haven't had the ball yet. They had a 3-play drive that they went 3 and out because Pittsburgh's controlled the game so far. Time possession in their favor, and that's why they're up 2 scores right now. Tannehill fakes the give, slant over the middle, complete. And A.J. Brown from Ole Miss, first down, Titans at the 41-yard line. Tannehill's got weapons to throw to. Corey Davis back, A.J. Brown, Smith, and Ferkshire at tight end. They got a good, decent committee at running back, of course, but of course you have Derrick Henry as the go-to lead back. He's your bell cow powerhouse that, like I said earlier, he's going to be running the ball 20-plus times a game. And then he can catch the ball in the backfield, too. So keep an eye out for the screen game a little bit later on. Henry on the give. He's going to get to the 39 for a pick of about 2.5, maybe 3 yards. And that's why I said earlier, it's your typical old school ground and pound, type of game where we're going to run the ball down your throat. Both teams are. And, try to stop us. And then just as when you think we're going to keep running, we're going to beat you deep, and we're going to air it out and score some points. Because you have to be balanced. And both these teams at 5-0, honestly, probably the two best balanced teams in the National Football League so far this year. And you wonder why they're 5-0. Well, that's why. Henry on the give, he loses a few yards. So it'll be 3rd down and long. Pass was caught. Tannehill pump faked over the middle. It was intended for Corey Davis from Western Michigan. And then former Buck Adam Humphries was right behind him, luckily, as the ball was deflected off of the drop by Davis in the air, and then Humphries right there to catch it. And he came down with the 1st down, Titans at the 22-yard line. And helmet comes off. Derrick Henry on the give. Or, excuse me, that is McPherson. And it'll be 2nd down and 9 from the 21 now for the Titans. Tannehill slant complete. Highsmith on the coverage, rookie from Charlotte. Corey Davis on the reception. Will be 3rd down, about a yard. We got Carolina and New Orleans update. They're battling out down in the Big Easy. And New Orleans leads by 4, 14-10. Pittsburgh might have just jumped offside. And if so, it's going to be an automatic 1st down for the Titans because it was 3rd and 1. Yeah, encroachment offside on the defense. Automatic 1st down. Who the hell's that? I guess I'm playing for the Steelers now. I'm wearing number 99 at D tackle. First and goal now for the Titans after the offside penalty. Ball at the 8-yard line. Derrick Henry on the give. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage, no gain. As we near halftime, 6:26 to play here in the 2nd quarter. 2nd and goal, Titans from the 8. Steelers lead by 2 scores. It's 14-0. Play clock winding down. Tannehill out of the gun, gets the snap, trip stopper screen, pump fakes, and then he's going to tuck it and run, and then he gets hit big at the 5-yard line. The ball gets jarred loose, fumble. Tennessee right there to recover it, though. And a very big hit on Ryan Tannehill. Shoulder to shoulder. As he got spun around, and then Vinnie Williams right there to make the hit. And then the ball was jarred loose. Fumble, 3rd and goal because Tennessee recovers. So Titan football, 3rd and goal for the middle. It's caught. Corey Davis, touchdown Titans, as they now cut the lead to 8 pending the extra point by Stephen Gostkowski. So now we've seen 2 total passing touchdowns in this game, with Benny Snell's rushing touchdown being the difference, with Pittsburgh having a early lead here in the first half.
time to 8:30?
Forget it. You're scared that you're gonna miss the way that it was.
So what do we do?
Be scared and do it anyway.
The Young Sheldon season premiere, Thursday, November 5th on CBS.
Back to Nashville, 14-7 Steelers.
Stadium here in Nashville, 22nd year as the home of the Titans. 12 plays, 75 yards, 6 minutes and 50 seconds. And it's
Hard to believe Tennessee's been the Tennessee Titans for 2+ decades now. As of course, they were the former Houston Oilers before moving to Memphis and then Nashville. And a good rivalry with these two teams through the years. There's always Tommy Maddox and Steve Air McNair and Eddie George before Roethlisberger came to town. And then we've had some good games ever since, of course. I mean, I remember a few years back on Thursday night, Tennessee came to Pittsburgh and the Steelers absolutely just blew away. But here we are, 14-7. James Conner on the run down the far sideline. He's going to pick up a big first down, close to midfield. Be first down, Pittsburgh.
Watch the gap that emerges over here. Watch what happens there. Nice block by Pouncey, number 53, the center, to create the last bit of area for Conner to go through. Good open field tackle by Malcolm Butler. Conner, big yardage on first down. A lot of that's attributable to how Pittsburgh has played this game. First run it did. That time they went with the draw after showing a spread formation.
24-yard gain for James Conner, physical runner in his own right.
Conner going to get the give once again. Out past the 45 to the 43. He's second and short.
I wonder how much of that is being called in by Randy Fichtner, and how much of that is being seen by Ben Roethlisberger, the line of scrimmage, and saying, same setup, I see the same gap, I'm going to come back with the same play. Well read, no matter who made the call.
Steelers are playing their style. They're comfortable doing just this. Run the football short.
Ben going to be under center now.
They don't get impatient.
Second and 2 officially. He's going to fake the give, step up, and then dump it off to James Conner once again for another Steeler first down. 3 straight plays to James Conner. They go from the 25 to the 25. Pittsburgh knocking on the door once again with a 7-point, 14-7 lead here as we near the 2-minute warning.
He's running down the middle, doesn't have it, and Ben Roethlisberger shows that patience again and says, okay, I've got a back in the flat. I'll just dump it down to him and pick up yardage.
Steelers number 2.
First down and 10.
Only Green Bay. Mike Vrabel, coach of the Titans, started his career as a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers, drafted out of Ohio State in the third.
Ben, another screen. It's batted down and then off of somebody's helmet, it looked like. And then it finally hit the ground, incomplete. Luckily, that wasn't another interception. Hit off somebody's helmet. So incomplete, second down and 10.
We asked about the defensive play calling, and Mike Vrabel said, look, I make the final decision on every call that goes in, but I'm not micromanaging the game. Shane Bowen, the outside linebacker coach, communicates the call with Jayon Brown.
Tennessee jumps off sides. That's Jadeveon Clowney. Ben has a free play. He goes deep near sideline. Perfect pass, and Deontay Johnson had it right in his breadbasket, and he dropped it. However, Tennessee was offside, so it's going to be a free 5 yards. They'll replay second down. Why isn't that an automatic first down? On the money. And he should have had that. In double coverage, too. That was as good as it's going to get. So they replay second down. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 20 now. Trips near side. Ben once again looking through a pump fakes. Deep far sideline. Incomplete. Intended for Ebron. And then it was almost picked off. Yeah, that's a good no call. Let them fight. Yeah, that's a good no call on a hold or a pass interference by either side. So 3rd and 5 now from the 20. Trips in a bunch near side. Pittsburgh, a perfect 7 for 7 on 3rd down. Make that 7 of 8. Incomplete near side, intended for Juju Smith-Schuster. Pittsburgh now going to have to settle for a field goal. Here comes Chris Boswell. 777s with number 7. On 3rd down. Perfect until now, of course, but 4th down and 5 for Pittsburgh. This will be from about 43, 44 yards. Boswell on for the kick. So Tennessee now, once again, sorry for any technical difficulties by any means, with 3 timeouts. Pittsburgh with all 3 timeouts as well. We're going to see if they can hurry up and move the ball quick downfield in order to get back into this ball game and, potentially cut it to whether they get a field goal or a touchdown, 7 or 3. And they'll get the ball to begin the second half, too. So, game not over by any means whatsoever. I mean, I think a lot of people were probably getting a little too far ahead of themselves watching this. Pittsburgh got 14-0. But like I said a little bit ago, obviously as mentioned, run the damn ball Derrick Henry, and they drove and ended up scoring. But in the meantime, Pittsburgh's controlled the game with time possession. And credit to them, and they've scored now on all drives. We have yet to see Jordan Berry, the former Steeler punter, now back with the team after he was cut at the end of the preseason after training camp. Brought in Colquitt from Kansas City. They just cut him this past week and brought back Jordan Berry. So he hasn't been on to punt. He's been on to hold for extra points and field goals, of course. But we'll see what Tennessee does now on their upcoming drive. I mean, they didn't look bad on their last one. Their first one was a quick 3 and out. They had 1 total yard in the first quarter. But then they were able to score on their last drive. A passing touchdown from Ryan Tannehill. So still 2 total passing touchdowns by both quarterbacks. A rushing touchdown by Benny Snell, and then a field goal by Boswell is the difference. So a 10-point Steeler lead here. Nearing halftime, 17-7 is where we stand if you're just now tuning in. But continue to run the football, Derrick Henry. It's going to be a fast 3 minutes here before halftime. We'll see if Tennessee can move the ball or not. Pittsburgh hopefully make a stop on defense. But sideline's your friend. You have timeouts, plus the 2-minute mark. So if Tennessee doesn't score, we have a muffed punt on the kick return. And Tennessee not going to start off with very good field position. We've seen a lot of injuries this year in football, a lot of missed kicks, and now a lot of muffed kicks. And what I mean by that is when you're back deep to return, you completely just miss the ball. You catch it, but you don't. And then it hits the ground. It's a fumble. It's a live ball. Whoever gets it recovers. First down. Now Tennessee at the 10-yard line. So not a good return by any means. They'll still have time and timeouts to be able to drive with a 2-minute warning. So as I was saying, for either of these teams, Pittsburgh with a big stop. T.J. Watt, 5-yard tackle for loss for him on Derrick Henry. 2nd and 15 now for the Tennessee Titans back at the 5-yard line. So now Pittsburgh is into potentially, if they force them to 3 and out here, maybe use your timeouts, get the ball back with time, and then a punt, ball around midfield, good field position for you to potentially extend your lead before halftime now. But for either of these teams, as Tennessee's going to take a good old time now, going on a 2-minute warning, they're going to have to snap it though here. It looks like before about a second differential between the game and play clock. With off the snap it here, it looks like before the 2-minute mark. Maybe try to draw Pittsburgh off sides. And they might have got him to jump. They do right at the 2-minute mark, of course. So they get those 5 yards back that Derrick Henry just lost. And yeah, there's a second differential, so they were just going to let it get down. Hard count. They drew Pittsburgh off, which good for them. You know, that was the right thing to do. We're at the 2-minute mark now. We got a flag on the play, so Tennessee's going to have a 2nd and 9, down 10, with 2 minutes to play before halftime. Okay. They say no flag now. They pick it up. They say clock hit 2 minutes before the offside. And that's right. That's close. That's as close as it's going to get. I mean, that's right on the head. So we stay at 2nd and 14. Tennessee doesn't even snap it, as they weren't going to, but then they don't get the penalty that they thought they had. So they'll have a 2nd and 14, 3 timeouts, 2 minutes to play, down 10, 17-7 here at home against the Steelers. But for either of these teams, what I'm trying to say is, if it's going to be a big disappointment if neither of these teams score a field goal or a touchdown before halftime. Especially now, I would say Pittsburgh more so than not than Tennessee, just with the starting field position for the Titans, and then the loss, and then 2-minute warning with what they thought they had a penalty on, and then of course no. But we might come back. They might have looked at it. Things could change. Pittsburgh with 2 timeouts, excuse me, not 3. Tennessee with all 3. You know, like I was just saying, potentially get a stop here, another 3 and out. Get some decent starting field position with 2 timeouts and a minute or however much time's going to be left, and potentially extend your lead before halftime. But then the Titans are going to get the ball to begin the second half, so we'll see what happens here in the final 2 minutes. As mentioned, coming over at halftime, stats and scores from the first half here, and then also from around the league. So be sure to stick around. What's happening? Wow, that's the second part of that's a little bit of a shock, but not really. How things went yesterday. Don't even want to really talk about that right now. But yeah, the first part of that, I'm not shocked they dropped that far. You know, like I said yesterday, I don't know how many times. And thank you to everyone who tuned in yesterday too, by the way. I always really appreciate it. Whether they, and this was before halftime, I think I said it, and then I said it a little bit later on. We've seen a lot of pet cardboard cutouts too. Yeah, all the dogs and cats in Music City here today. But regardless if they were going to win or lose, they were going to drop. Just the way they played, and then of course they lost yesterday. And yeah, not shocked that they dropped that far, but then with the second part of that, a little shocked that they jumped ahead of them. But hey, it is what it is. They honestly didn't deserve to win. You know, when it came down to it, because they turned the ball over how many times and had how many bad penalties, and just tough loss, and going to be even tougher next weekend probably. That's what everybody's thinking at least. So they play games, we'll see what happens with how potentially bad it could be. But honestly, who knows what's going to happen? And like I said, you know, way they were playing down 10 as the Titans are right now too, 17-7, same score at halftime yesterday with that game. They'll be lucky to go 4-4. So they'll find their groove eventually. They'll find their way out of the hole they're in, as they did yesterday. And
Truck companies love talking about horsepower. We're as guilty as any. But the truth
we'll see what happens. They got a tough stretch coming up though.
goes well beyond strength.
I mean, these next 4 games, honestly, they're probably only going to win 1, maybe 2. So a month from now,
To challenge,
you have 1-2 wins at the end of November.
to inspire change.
And normally you say that, well, you're not going to a bowl game. Everybody's going to a bowl game this year, one way or another. Everybody's eligible. It's just a matter of where you're at and who you're playing against. But that's just how the year's been because of everything going on. Hopefully everyone's staying safe as well. But, because normally you play a full schedule, 1-2 wins at the end of the year. Coach is fired. You're going to start over and blah, 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 blah. The spiel there. But, we'll see what happens, yeah. Tough one there yesterday, but regardless if, they didn't mean to score or Indiana let them score, they didn't do enough before with the turnovers, that they had and all the penalties, like I said. They just didn't put themselves in a good position. They shot themselves in the foot too many times. But, common sense in that situation, yeah, you'd like to score. But then you don't want to, in that situation, do that. Which, honestly, I mean, name the games to score as many points as possible can to, beat your opponent. But, like I said, late then, too, the defense, on that next drive, they didn't make the stop they needed to, and they let them score, again, and then they gave up two two-point attempts, if I'm not mistaken. Correct? Yeah. So, it is what it is. Here we are. I'll get more into it later, but yeah. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I said what I said yesterday, but just a tough one. Incomplete over the middle by Tannehill, so 4th and 5, and Tennessee on the punt. And Pittsburgh called timeout, stop clock, so they have 1 left with 1:51 to play. Up 10, and the Steelers are going to at least get some good starting field position here, maybe block a punt. But then, well, maybe not. Ball going to be fielded at the 28-yard line. Good return, though. Ray McCloud out past midfield. And Ray McCloud, okay, that's even better. He's going to be brought down inside the 20-yard line to the 16-yard line. And no penalties, no flags. That's the best kick return they've had all season long. If only he would have cut near side a little bit more, he would have high stepped down the near sideline and probably be in the end zone right now celebrating, rather than continue to go down midfield. But even better starting field position now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 1st and 10, ball inside the red zone. Already knocking on the door. You can run the ball here to pick up a 1st down at the 7, and they are. Connor for 2 to the 15, because you got a minute and a half and 1 timeout. Yeah, now you'd like to score a touchdown. You still get a field goal out of it. Okay, I'm fine with that, but 7's better than 3, so punch it in, score a damn touchdown. After next week, is that what you're saying? Yeah. To answer that last comment, why is Charles Davis circling the mouth of Ben Roethlisberger? Of course, I don't think that was meant to happen by any means, but that was just funny how it turned out. pass complete far side to Deontay Johnson, who's had a hell of a game, along with James Conner and Juju Smith-Schuster. Third down and 2, third and short for Pittsburgh. Under a minute here to play in the first half. Ball going to be at the 9-yard line. But yeah, they've been ranked in top 25 for 50 in football time. 54 weeks now in a row. Even after they dropped. I think it's 54, maybe 55, somewhere in there. Ben over the middle, slant complete. And then Deontay Johnson walks in the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh Steelers. His second touchdown reception today. And the Steelers now lead the Tennessee Titans 23-7 with 52 seconds to play in the first half. Pittsburgh speeding it up the past few games, putting their foot on the gas pedal and not letting off. Especially the past 2 weeks against Cleveland and now Tennessee. Looking good. They might, with playing Tennessee today, 2 unbeatens, and then Seattle the other. See how the Seahawks play tonight. And that flexed in. Pittsburgh right now might be the best team in the National Football League. The way they played the first month and a half in, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Honestly, yeah, you still look around the league. There are some very, very good teams. You go division by division. Buffalo's got the East. Miami's playing some damn good football though right now. Tua's going to start. They're off this week. So once they come back, we'll see if he can be a good starting franchise quarterback for the Finns. Patriots are still there. They host San Fran later. So we're almost to the midway point, you know. Another week, we'll get into, okay, more on who's definitely making the playoffs, who's right on the edge, and then who's done for, including the Jets. The North, I mean, Cleveland's still at 4-2. They're not bad, but they're not playing as the word. Burrow and the Bengals up on the Browns. And then, you know, you have Pittsburgh and Baltimore. And today, Pittsburgh was supposed to be in Baltimore and take on the Ravens. That's next week. So another tough game. And then Pittsburgh goes to Dallas in a couple weeks. So, you know, like I said, first time on the road since week 1. They were supposed to play in Tennessee a few weeks back on the 4th. Postponed, of course, due to COVID. So they had 4 straight home games. And now they'll have 3 straight road games before they'll come back home before Thanksgiving, and then at home on Thanksgiving night against the Baltimore Ravens, playing them twice in a few week span. The South, I mean, it's still Tennessee's and Indy's to lose. I mean, the Colts are rooting for Pittsburgh today, you would think. They're at least liking the way this game's been. And then Kansas City is Kansas City. You know, and the Raiders are right there. We'll see what they can do. They got a tough one against Tampa. And Tampa, along with New Orleans. Even Carolina's playing some damn good ball. Panthers, Saints today. See who comes out on top in that. And then, I mean, who knows who's going to come out of the NFC East. And it's only going to be one of the teams that 2-14 making the playoffs. I don't even think that's possible by any means, but still, that's how bad that division is. Cowboys on the road against the Skins, and then this past Thursday night we saw the Eagles beat the Giants. Honestly, it's Philly and Dallas right now, but the Skins aren't playing as bad. They had a lead last I checked, but Green Bay, Chicago's playing good. And then, I mean, that NFC West is tough. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, a good one tonight on Sunday night with Seattle and Arizona. But WWE Hell in a Cell coming first at 7 o'clock, so be sure to tune back in for more live reactions. And in the meantime, what just happened here with Pittsburgh and Tennessee, that couldn't have been a better outcome for the Steelers. and the Titans getting the ball back. They still have all 3 timeouts. They're just not executing now on offense. I get their first drive, quick 3 and out, 1 total yard in first quarter. Pittsburgh controlling the time possession. You know, their second drive was all right. They scored. Last one, not so much. They didn't start well on the field with the field possession, and then they punted. Pittsburgh, good punt return. A couple plays later, they scored. So 24-7 is where we stand at. But with all that just happened, it couldn't have come out any better for Pittsburgh. Even if Tennessee's going to get the ball to begin the second half or not. And we got a few games now at halftime as well. Pittsburgh going to call another timeout. They're third and final. As Tennessee once again goes 3 and out. And they're going to punt. Watch for a fake maybe. But punt it. Pin them deep. Make them drive with no timeouts. Less than, oh hell, they'll get the ball back with probably about 10, 12 seconds. There's only 20 seconds left. And then head on into halftime. So Pittsburgh playing old school today. Running the ball. Connor not as well as he's been, but special teams playing key, and they're just controlling the game with the time. And they've executed, as Tennessee hasn't, on their drives, and they've put up 24 points, and credit to the black and gold. And a bad snap on the punt. Now the punter's going to fake punt. What I say is going to throw it, and then it's going to be incomplete, almost intercepted, and then almost caught. So now Pittsburgh, we got a flag. We'll see if this is probably a hold or a pass interference downfield, or hell, even an illegal man downfield for that matter. So 14 seconds is where we stand. Pittsburgh going to get the ball 1st and 10. Very, very good field position once again. And, yeah, bad snap. Very, very bad snap. Ineligible receiver downfield. Among others. Penalties declined. And turnover on downs. First down Pittsburgh. We'll see where they spot the ball. It should be at where Tennessee just had it. 32. So Pittsburgh, no timeouts. 14 seconds. Use the sideline as your friend. And, I mean, hell, they're already in field goal range. I mean, you can kick it right now if you wanted to. But get some yardage, as I thought somebody else should have yesterday, too, rather than kick a 57-yard potential game-winning field goal. But, of course, it's not how it played out. Yeah, so 10 Pittsburgh from the 32. And now we got a whistle. Tennessee's going to call timeout. And that's a good timeout there first. Might as well call 3 timeouts, for God's sakes. You're not going to get the ball back.
So we'll come back in 30 seconds right after this.
It was the night before kickoff when all through the house, not a player was standing, not even
Gronk?
Them nachos.
Them nachos.
Oh, yeah. Brady polished his helmet to give it a gleam, excited for game day with his brand new team. Now get the Doritos and get the Tostitos. For sauce, for queso, get the Lay's and the Cheetos. Now snack away, y'all, because kickoff is here. And it's game day,
Indians.
Don't forget the chips.
Don't forget the chips. Pittsburgh, 1st and 10, ball to the 32-yard line. And we got a false start. Now you have to get yardage to get back in field goal range because of a 5-yard false start. They'll replay first down. That was on Eric Ebron, former Lion and also Colt. So he's used to playing in Nashville LP Field, Nissan Stadium against Tennessee Titans in his first year with the Steelers. They still need to get tight ends more involved, I think, in this offense. I mean, the sky's the limit, honestly. 1st and 15 from the 37. Ben going deep. Has a man that's going to be picked off in the end zone. Tennessee, you should have took a knee for a touchback. They're going to return it. Clock's going to run out on them. They're playing hook and ladder, and then he's down to the 10-yard line. So now at halftime, the Steelers lead the Tennessee Titans 24-7. So, all right, that's honestly not that bad of a situation because, you know, you still turn the ball over, but clock runs out. It's halftime. Tennessee can't capitalize. Titans will get the ball to begin the second half, though, as mentioned. So, at the half, it's 24-7 Pittsburgh on top of the Tennessee Titans. Coming up shortly, we'll have first half stats and scores from this first half of Pittsburgh and Tennessee, along with from around the league. So stay tuned. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe, as always, on social media. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, share, chat questions and comments, super chat, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated. At the half, as mentioned, Pittsburgh leads Tennessee 24-7. Big Ben Roethlisberger is 17 of 24 for 160 yards passing.
We are family owned. We are.
It's Park Home's 80th anniversary, and we're ready to celebrate. Get a $100 Park Home check just for stopping in.
Juju Smith-Schuster, as mentioned, 4 catches, 36 yards. James Conner, 2 for 22 out of the backfield. And then Ray McLeod has 1 catch for 9 yards, but then also has a 50-plus yard punt return that set up Pittsburgh with very, very good starting field position before their last touchdown to close out the first half. Chase Claypool, only 1 catch for -2 yards. Vance Ron McDonald, 1 of 5. That was on the opening drive. So they really haven't gone to their tight ends, as mentioned a lot here today, or even this year as a whole. But we'll regress and move on. Hey, if you're winning the way you're winning, you know, why change it? Ryan Tannehill, former Dolphin, now Titan, leading Tennessee to the AFC title game last year with Derrick Henry. As both players have a total of 77 yards. Tannehill is 6 of 11 for 50 yards passing and 1 touchdown, that to Corey Davis, who has 3 catches for 15 yards. Brett Kern, the punter, 0 for 1 passing on the fake punt because of the bad snap. And then Pittsburgh, a play later after a false start, that's when Ben threw the interception. Derrick Henry has 8 carries for 27 yards. Humphreys 1 of 19, A.J. Brown 1 of 13, and then Burkser 1 of 3. And that's where we stand at halftime. Pittsburgh leading Tennessee 24-7. Some other games currently at halftime. The Saints lead the Panthers 21-17. Jets lead the Bills 10-6. And the Packers are on top of the Texans 21-0. Right before halftime, Falcons leading the Lions. Seeing some highlights now during the halftime report. First off, Pittsburgh and Tennessee. But Sunday Night Football is Seahawks Cardinals, and then Monday night, tomorrow night, with the Bears and the Rams. We saw the Eagles beat the Giants, as mentioned a little bit ago, this past Thursday night on Thursday Night Football. Who's injured and out for the rest of the game? Oh, OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr. Well, maybe that injury will knock some sense into him and he'll start playing better. And that was on an interception return. Wish him best of luck in a recovery from a knee injury. He's out for the rest of the game. We'll see how serious it is. But in the meantime, I mean, Cleveland not playing bad. They're only down 7 at halftime, as mentioned. 17-10. The Bengals lead the Browns. Former Gator, Michael P. Ryan, scoring for the Jets. And then they're really hitting National Tight End Day hard. Aaron Rodgers putting on a show. Packers trying to get back in the swing of things after losing against Tampa Bay last week. Falcons this year with one win. They put all their attention into their uniforms back in the spring, along with changing up their end zones this week at home rather than winning football games in 2020. They fired Dan Quinn. Both Houston and Atlanta now looking for new head coaches. But the Falcons lead, as the Saints do as well, against the Panthers. And then the Washington football team now up 22-3 on top of the Dallas Cowboys. Mike McCarthy better watch his ass. First-year coach with Dallas. I mean, he's been in the head coach for how long? Was in Green Bay for, I believe, 13, 14 years before he got fired. Dallas with no Dak Prescott. They can't run the ball, it looks like, with Zeke. Whether he's fumbling or not. Like I said last week, Monday night, don't be shocked if Dallas makes a move for a quarterback at the trade deadline a week from Tuesday. Maybe Matt Ryan, maybe Matt Stafford. Haskins from D.C., he could be flying back to Dallas with them after the game today. There's somebody else I named off as well. Sam Darnold, that's right, from the Jets. I had to think there for a second. Because if Andy Dalton's not getting it done, and they still want to, because they're always in this situation, the Dallas Cowboys are, where, one, it's not the mid-90s anymore, okay? We'll start off there. Whether they're winning or not, they're still Dallas Cowboys, okay? And honestly, they should be winless. They shouldn't have beaten Atlanta. They shouldn't have beaten Atlanta. They shouldn't have beaten, who else they beat? Lost the Rams and lost the Seahawks. Lost the Cardinals. When do they play the 49ers? They're going to lose to them too, probably. Who else did Dallas beat? Giants, that's right. Yeah. That's the game Dak went down in. Yeah, but what is going on with the Dallas Cowboys? It is unbelievable. Like, no shit. But Dallas is always in a situation just because they play in the NFC East. And with how bad that division is, and how bad it's been over the past how many years, they're still always in a spot where, okay, do we need to do this? Do we need to do that to, you know, give us a shot to win the division or make the playoffs? Because honestly, even if they're playing as bad as they are, I mean, if Philly was smart, they'd try to at least start playing some better football and run away with the division. Get people talking, and then, you know, probably choke in the playoffs, or who knows, teams eventually, as the Eagles did a few years back, they got hot in the playoffs, went the whole Super Bowl and won it. You know, we've seen Pittsburgh do that before. We saw Tennessee almost do it last year. But if I'm Dallas, you still got to run Zeke, but of course that's not working out. Yeah, Denver's getting snow. It's like 15 degrees, and they got like a couple inches of snow. They had to get out there early to get the snow off the field. And with some fans, I do believe, being in attendance tonight, as they'll host the Kansas City Chiefs coming up in a few hours. So late October, we already got some snow out in the Rockies, affecting a football game with COVID, you know, on top of that. But Dallas, I tell you what, the problem, in my opinion, with the Cowboys is Jerry Jones. He honestly is. He wants all the attention. He's like somebody else. That we'll see if in a couple weeks or not is still going to be running things. But yeah, Jerry Jones, I mean, he's getting up there in age one. It's not like, he steps down or anything like that. Oh, Steve, and that's why he was the one who hired Mike McCarthy, not Jerry Jones. Even though, obviously, in the end, it was a mutual decision between the family, of course, to hire him, to bring him in to replace Jason Garrett, who's now the offensive coordinator for the Giants. And, he's probably thinking to himself, like, well, one, what the hell? But then two, like, sort of, I told you so, like, screw you. Because McCarthy, and this is the thing with a football coach, he's an offensive guy, okay? You have offensive-minded coaches, of course, or offensive coordinators, or even head coaches. And then you have defensive-minded coaches, who are defense coordinators or defensive head coaches. What the Dallas Cowboys need is a football coach. Just a flat-out football coach. And they haven't had that since Jimmy Johnson. And that's when they're running roughshod with the triplets back in the 90s. With Aikman, Emmett, and good old Michael Irvin. So, I'm not saying you need to hire Jimmy Johnson back, the football coach, not NASCAR driver, and have him return to coach by any means, as he wouldn't want to do that anyway. He's almost 80 years old. And I'm honestly saying Mike McCarthy's not doing a bad job. Like, there's been points where Dallas has played well, but they just, for some reason, can't seem to be consistent. Like, honestly, they probably should have beat the Rams week 1 on Sunday night. That pass interference is haunting them. But in the meantime, they still should be winless because they lost that game. They then beat the Falcons and they beat the Giants. And when they won both those games, they scored 35-plus points. They even lost to the Browns by scoring almost 50. Okay, that was a shootout a few weeks back. The originally scheduled date for this game with Pittsburgh and Tennessee is we're about to begin the second half, as the Steelers once again lead 24-7. Yeah, Pittsburgh, just keep doing what you're doing. Tennessee's got to find something to get back in it. But, yeah, Derrick Henry, not looking that hot. But then credit to the Steeler defense. 2 weeks now in a row, stopping the two best running attacks in the National Football League with the Cleveland Browns last week and now the Tennessee Titans with Derrick Henry today. So far, we're only half in. We still got a lot of football to be played, but Pittsburgh leading 24-7. And Boswell on to kickoff. Good return out to around the 25-yard line. It'll be first down, Titans from there. Like, Mike Vrabel is a football coach. He's a former player. He won how many Super Bowls with the Patriots? Okay? He's a former Steeler. Bounced around the league, but he played for the most part with New England. And then got into coaching with Ohio State. And then Houston Texans before he took the Tennessee Titan head coaching job. And almost led him to the Super Bowl last year. And TJ Watt just tries to swat the ball out of Ryan Tannehill's hand. And then Tannehill gets brought down on the sack by TJ Watt. As he came right off the edge and then tried to strip sack it, and then Tannehill goes down. But still the Dallas Cowboys, going back to that for a second. Like, they've shown, this is what we can do. with putting points up, but then sucking as well. And there's no in between. There's no in between this year for them. But this is how it is every year for them anyway. You know? Another big stop on defense for the Steelers. The 3rd and long. But they just have to play better if they want to get back into it. I mean, I'm sure Philly's liking Washington beating Dallas right now, because that's going to be another loss in the win column for the Cowboys after the Eagles beat the Giants on Thursday night. So, I mean, you would have to think you'd have to root for the Eagles to win that division right now. They're not playing that bad, but they could be playing a little bit better. Pass over the middle, incomplete. 4th down and 16 now for the Titans, and they're on to punt once again. Speaking of the NFC East, with Pittsburgh, they already beat the Giants week 1. That was on the road. They're on the road today for the first time since then, which is very, very hard to believe. But because this game a few weeks back was rescheduled to today, Pittsburgh had an early bye week 4 rather than next week, where they'll play Baltimore on the road and M&T Bank, who they're supposed to play today. And Pittsburgh, once again, almost blocks the punt. So Tennessee, nothing going their way whatsoever. And that's going to be a block in the back. It'll probably come back if they threw the flag. Ray McLeod gets the 35-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers from there when we return for their first drive in the second half. But with Pittsburgh and the NFC East, they also beat the Eagles a few weeks back before they beat the Browns last week. And then they'll play Dallas in 2 weeks on November the 8th. And then the Skins, the Washington football team, they'll come to Pittsburgh as Philly and Washington, they come to Steel City, Pittsburgh going to New York and Dallas this year. Skins coming to Pittsburgh in early mid-December, I do believe it is. But like I said a little bit ago, Pittsburgh right now, depending on how the Seahawks play tonight, with these undefeated teams, they're looking and they're also playing like the best team in the NFL right now, which is a very, very good thing. But eventually, rather than going undefeated and then losing in the playoffs, you're going to want to lose late in the year before the playoffs begin, rather than losing in the playoffs and then it's one and done. You're done. You're not getting Super Bowl. But as mentioned before, the last time the Steelers started out 4-0 and 5-0 for that matter, back in 79 and 78 respectively, they went to the Super Bowl and won the damn thing. So history on their side, but still a long season. So a lot of football left to be played. We don't get to the playoffs until January. Don't want to get too far ahead of myself by any means, but Pittsburgh playing some damn good football, and like I just said though too, there's still a lot of other good teams around the league. Like honestly, the best teams in the AFC, Buffalo's not bad. Okay, Tennessee beat them on a Tuesday night a few weeks back, and then they lost to the Chiefs last Monday night in the first of the doubleheader in rainy upstate Western New York at Orchard Park. And who knows, like I said, with the Dolphins, what they'll do. They'll probably miss out, you would think, late, but we'll see how Tua plays as a starter. And then the North, AFC North, is going to get 2 teams probably with Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Tennessee's still a good team. They're just not playing well today. Nothing's going their way whatsoever. Nothing at all. Pittsburgh with the ball at the 34-yard line, 1st and 10 after the punt. Handoff, James Conner. Good block, and he's going to get about 8 yards and then tackled out of bounds. Maybe a little bit of a late hit, but we'll see if there is a flag. There is a flag now. Okay. This will be a late hit out of bounds. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the Titan defense. That's on Kenny Vaccaro, the former Hook'em Longhorn. And yeah, that's a good call. Right in front of Mike Vrabel, too. He can't be happy about that. That's free yardage for the Steelers. That's a free 15 yards. The Colts are a sneaky team, too, honestly. So Colts, Titans, I believe they play on a Thursday night in about a month or so. Trip, stop your screen. Ben just going to hand off once again. If I'm in Pittsburgh, I just run the ball for the rest of the game. I don't worry about throwing. But you got to try to take up, some time, though, too. But no gain, second down and 10. So honestly, it's Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Indy, Tennessee, Kansas City, and the Vegas Raiders. Those are your top teams in the AFC. The Patriots are still there though too. We know they'll do something eventually. 1-7 for former quarterbacks of Bill Belichick's against him. Drew Bledsoe, the last former Belichick quarterback to beat him. And that was when Bledsoe was with Buffalo, the Bills, as Jimmy Garoppolo returns to Foxborough today. And then in the NFC, as Jadeveon Clowney is down injured, it'll be 3rd and 4 Pittsburgh. Mike Vrabel out to take a look.
It's so good to see you guys. Hon, out here.
NFC-wise, it's either going to be Philly or Dallas, probably. But like I said, the Skins aren't playing bad. They've been in every game, but only a few wins to show for it. New Orleans, Tampa, Carolina. Give me all three, honestly, in the playoffs. That's why I predicted. I think that could still potentially happen. The Bears are probably the biggest surprise, though, along with the Cardinals right now in the NFL. And then you still have the Packers and the Seahawks, along with the Rams and 49ers. So the NFC's more wide open. You got a few more teams battling it out for, 1 or 2, maybe even 3 spots with the wild cards, if they don't win the division by any means. But that's how it's looking at right now, I think, just thinking off the top of my head. But we'll get more into, all this, like I said, around next week, I'd say, or so, after the midway point. As we're in week 7 right now, so week 8 next week, Pittsburgh on the road, and Baltimore take on the Ravens, who they're supposed to play today, but because this Titan game was rescheduled for today, that got pushed back. They got an early bye. Cowboys now in 2 weeks on the road, and then they'll come back home in mid-November in a few weeks. So we'll see how it shakes out. Like Tony Romo said last week, honestly, Pittsburgh, after all these games coming up, could be undefeated 8-0 at the midway point. And I would think for sure they can hold on today against Tennessee, that they'll beat the Cowboys in 2 weeks. But with the rivalry, with the black and gold and America's team, who honestly knows they haven't played in Dallas in quite a while either. So that could be a coin flip game, along with next week with the Baltimore Ravens. As you know, the Steelers rivalry, one of the best in the NFL right now, and with both teams, I should say, are at the top, it's always going to come down to the final play. And whoever the better team is, whoever makes that play and comes out on top, may the best team win. So Ben going deep down the far sideline. It's incomplete. Got a flag coming in. That was intended for Chase Claypool. First time they go to him deep. So this will be a pass interference, it looks like, on the Tennessee Titans. First down. Automatic first down for the Steelers. Yeah, that's a good PI call. He didn't even look back. Malcolm Butler going to be the culprit. It's going to be a spot foul, automatic first down for the Steelers. That was a good call. He didn't even turn around. He didn't look for the ball. He played the receiver. You got to turn around and look for the ball. You don't, you're going to get pass interference called on you if you have contact. Clowney now on the sideline on the bike, trying to get his legs warm back up a little bit as he went down with an injury just a little bit ago. 1st and 10, those Steelers from the 15-yard line. 2 tight ends in, top of your screen, on the line of scrimmage with McDonald and Ebron. Handoff, James Conner. He's going to get about 7 yards to the 8-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 3. Second and 3 from the 9 officially. Conner on the give once again. He's going to lose a few yards back to the 14-yard line. They give him forward progress at 12, but it'll be 3rd down Pittsburgh. A quiet afternoon right now with these 1 o'clock games. Not a whole lot cooking, not a whole lot going on, honestly, with some good games. I mean, because this is sort of now turned into a blowout. But we're still only 10 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. So still a lot of football. But you look at Carolina, New Orleans, that's right now probably the best game that's going on with how the scoring has been. Now play clock winding down. We got a whistle. Pittsburgh called timeout. And actually it was the Titans calling a timeout. So I don't know why they did that by any means, but timeout Tennessee.
Downs have been the issue on defense. He thinks it's unfortunate because it's overshadowed some of the quality things that the defense has shown this season, but it's been a problem again today.
Same formation, trips near side. 3rd and 6 from incomplete, intended for Eric Ebron. And Boswell going to have to come out for another field goal. As they almost went head first into the bottom of the field goal post. The upright, just about a yard or so off. Ben took a late hit, pass fell incomplete, so Boswell for his 2nd field goal of the afternoon. This from 30. This up and good as well, so the Steelers now lead by 20, 27-7. With 10:26 to play in the 3rd quarter. Pittsburgh looking to go to 6-0, handing Tennessee their first loss, but still a lot of football left to be played. Stay tuned.
The race is never over. The journey has no port. The adventure never ends because we are always on the way.
Big lunch and then just a snack for dinner.
We're using a speakerphone in this store. Is that a good idea? One of the ways I do that is to get them out of the home. We're looking for a grub brush. Did he ask me to help? No. We all see it. We all see it. It is clear. Okay.
Blue Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home and auto when you bundle with us.
You don't know?
Let's take a call.
Tony, my fantasy team's up by 40 and all my opponent has left is this kicker. You guys know what that means? It's live time! Live time! Something down to find your team to beach. Woo! That was wild! Gotta see the numbers. He almost got me. 1.4 yards away, technically. I get a close look at his foot, about a size 15. Scramble 14 yards, let it fly. And with all that going on, catch probability, 31%. Yeah! Touchdown, baby. What, you thought a little toe tickle was going to stop me? Come on now. It's just that. services. AWS is out.
Arby's, 2 for $6. Every day, flame seasoned, Greek seasoned Euro meat. 2 of those things for just $6. Arby's, we have the meat.
Mom is back. Let's all laugh together. I love it. The Mom season premiere, Thursday, November 5th on CBS.
Here at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. The Steelers 27, the Titans 7. Both teams interaction at 5-0, but it's been all Pittsburgh here today and right from the jump. Oswald kicks it off. Bringing it deep. It is over his head. You like carnivals, Charles?
I do.
You ever play Sack-A-Mole?
I'm not good at that. I played whack-a-mole, but
No. This is a different game. This is Sack-A-Mole.
Is this a new thing?
This is new. This is what the Pittsburgh Steelers do every single week. Carson Wentz, he got it. Baker Mayfield, he got it. And Charles, you get a stuffed animal.
Thank you for doing nothing. You do all the work. I get the stuffed animal.
They do have a sack here today. 63 straight games with a sack for this Pittsburgh defense. Touchdown again. Henry ridden down. It was T.J. Watt, first man there for Pittsburgh. Henry, 10 carries, 30 yards. Mike Tomlin's defense, it's the third longest streak in the NFL since the merger, with the 63 straight games with at least one sack.
So now they're just chasing down Tampa Bay, correct? Present just, but Tampa Bay is the number 1 team, 69 straight, I believe. That's the goal for them now.
Back here with the Tennessee Titans trailing by 20 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's 27-7, 2nd and 8. And then Tannehill down the middle. That's A.J. Brown, and he's going to walk into the end zone for a touchdown. So Tennessee responds. They answer with a quick touchdown. And however, they're still down 2 scores, but here's we inch closer to the end of the game. The passing game now for Tennessee getting a little bit better. That went for 70 plus. And some good yak yards for him. Don't know how he got open, honestly. It really wasn't that wide open. It was just a simple pass over the middle, and Tannehill hit him, and then A.J. Brown did the rest and ran into the end zone for a Titan touchdown. And now we stand at 27-14 with 9.5 to play in the third quarter. So now if I'm Pittsburgh, okay, if I'm Pittsburgh, especially on defense, with Tennessee just responding, quick touchdown, 2 plays on their drive there, you got to bring a little bit more pressure than what we've seen so far this game. Tannehill's gone down on a few different sacks, but still no turnovers when I crawl. Bring pressure, make him dump off, force some throws he doesn't want to. You know, he had 2 interceptions against Baker Mayfield last week. Got rid of him before the end of the third quarter. And honestly, still on offense, just try to run the football, get Connor over 100 yards again. Continue to run the ball. Ben's going to have to open it up, though, a little bit more. Air it out. You got to go back to how you started the game, though, to finish. Run the clock, control the time possession, and get out of Nashville with a win. So we'll see what happens. But Tennessee just answered with a touchdown. It's now 27-14 Steelers on top of the Titans.
Only on 60 Minutes tonight on CBS.
Justice only happens if you fight for it. It's why I became a judge.
All Rise returns November 16th on CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Visa. Shop local because where you shop matters. And by Geico. Happy Geico Week. You could save even more by bundling home and car insurance.
Tennessee had 83 yards total in the first half. They had 73 on that play. Brown taking the slant and then going the distance for the Titans, a touchback.
Take a look here at Vince Williams, the linebacker, right? And Micah Fitzpatrick, the safety. Because this is one terrific catch as far as I'm concerned. A.J. Brown goes inside. Williams' arm goes up. Right there. He still concentrates. And I think if Fitzpatrick hesitated just a count, and A.J. Brown outran the angle, Fitzpatrick trying to make the tackle.
We asked Brown about the chemistry with Tannehill. He said he went down to Miami during the offseason to work out some things.
First and 10 now, Steelers out of the pistol. Deontay Johnson in motion. Ben just going to dump it off, and incomplete, intended for McFarland. Snell has a touchdown, but it's been, for the most part, James Conner once again, and then McFarland and Snell getting a few carries apiece, or a few targets on a few different passes. But no Jalen Samuels. That's why I've stated a few times, potentially he could be on his way out, along with James Washington. I don't think he's even playing today. Second and 10 from the 25. Conner on the give, no gain. Third down and long. But regardless of those players not playing, Pittsburgh's done a good enough job to get other playmakers the ball in space and make a play. Deontay Johnson really stepping up again. He's honestly played well the whole entire season. He started out slow. He had a few mistakes, but he rebounded, got back on his feet. Another catch for him over the middle on the slant. He's going to be about 2 yards shy of the first down, so it'll be fourth down Pittsburgh. And here comes Jordan Berry for the first time today and the first time this year, as he was cut following training camp, as mentioned. They signed Colquitt from Kansas City after they cut him, but then Pittsburgh just cut Colquitt this past week and brought back Jordan Berry. So Jordan Berry on to for the first leads, 27-14. And fair catch signal for at the 19-yard line, so that's where Tennessee will begin, following the Pittsburgh punt. First and 10, Titans. Down 13 when we return.
My body is truly powerful.
I have the power to lower my A1C, but my body can still make its own insulin.
Naturally activates my body to release.
Yeah, Deontay Johnson, from the first game until now, and he missed last week because of an injury. Missed well over a game, actually. He's been banged up a lot this year, but he's still making plays. And, I mean, Chase Claypool, us saying he's potentially the new number one in Pittsburgh, and not yet. And, I mean, I knew that personally, even after all his, big games he's had as of late. Today, he's not doing anything, but credit to Tennessee's defense, because they're covering him. They're making sure he doesn't get the ball and, beat him, even though Pittsburgh's still winning by 2 scores right now. In the meantime, because they're covering him, somebody's open, and then Ben gets it to, they've gone tight end a little bit more, not as much as I'd like. A few games back, I forget what one it was. It was either the Houston game or the Philly game, I think. It might even been Denver. It was one of the home games there. No, it wasn't last week against Cleveland. And then they played the Giants week 1, and they barely went the tight ends all that game. Need to get them more involved, of course. But one of those games, they had a better outcome in that regard compared to today. But they have more so than not gone back to that today a few times, but not as much. But like I said, when they're covering Claypool, double team him, triple team him, whatever, somebody's going to be open. So then Ben gets the ball. We really haven't run the screen game a lot, but he's getting the ball to Juju. He's getting the ball to Deontay Johnson. Juju having a quiet second half here, but Deontay Johnson's honestly the number 2 receiver still in Pittsburgh, behind Juju Smith-Schuster and Chase Claypool as a rookie is your third. So we'll see how everything shakes out, of course, but those are just my thoughts on all that. So. First and 10, ball at the 19. Got a long ways to go, though, for a touchdown. Tennessee trailing by 13 here with 8 minutes to play in the third quarter. Tannehill under center. Henry in the backfield, they give to him. And Tuitt on the stop along with Joe Hayden. Loss of about a yard, it'll be second down. Yeah, Tuitt's playing damn well on the D-line, too. Like I said, with Pittsburgh on offense, scoring as many points as they are, they're averaging, they scored 38 last week, but they're averaging now about 30 a game. Tannehill under center, he's going to audible. It'll be second down. Another give to Derrick Henry. Tannehill was falling down, though, as he handed it off. Luckily, no fumble. Was he down, though, before he gave it to Derrick Henry? I don't think he was by any means, but he gets a few yards, and then it'll be third down. And the snow is falling in Denver. Chiefs on the road against the Broncos coming up as players are starting to warm up, as that is an update on National Tight End Day because of Kelsey with the 49ers on the road against the Patriots. Gronk and the Bucks down in Tampa on the road in Vegas taking on the Raiders. Tannehill looking to throw on third down, complete at the 25-yard line. However, Sutton right there on the stop, and fourth down for Tennessee, and they're on the punt once again. 6.5 to play here in the third quarter. And then Kelsey with the Chiefs on the road in Mile High to take on the Denver Broncos. And was that Chris Wormley who finally was in for the Pittsburgh defense? Did I just see him walk off the field? He was traded for Michigan Wolverine by Baltimore to Pittsburgh this past offseason. But he has barely played for the Steelers defense this year. He might have been out there on special teams for the most part this whole run so far, but I don't think I've seen him on defense at all until just that last play. And he's not that bad of a D lineman. Could play linebacker if needed as well. It'll be first down Pittsburgh at the 15 following the punt. Most consecutive non-losing seasons to start a career. Mike Tomlin tied for second all-time. Marty Schottenheimer, Don Shula, Mike Tomlin, George Allen, and then Curly Lambeau. That's some pretty damn good company right there. First and 10. Pass going to be caught. And that's Eric Ebron for 5 yards at the 20-yard line. Second down and 5. But talking about the Pittsburgh offense with what they've done so far this season. But then the defense on the flip side, okay? Past 2 weeks, being able to stop these running backs that they've gone up against, arguably their best defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers in probably a decade. Okay. Empty set, 5 wide, 2nd and 5 from 21. Pass complete far sideline. And that's Juju Smith-Schuster for 2 yards. 3rd down and 3. Now another update with a game this time around. Carolina scoring, tying it up with New Orleans as they begin the 4th quarter. Bengals still lead the Browns. Trips in a bunch near side. 3rd and 3 for Pittsburgh. Get some other scores here shortly. Bubble screen complete to Juju. He's going to pick up a Steeler first down the 30-yard line. But their defense, for the most part, shutting everyone down. Keeping them in the game, too, if needed. But Pittsburgh on offense, just past 2 games now, they've started out very fast and strong, and today controlling the time more so than they've had in God knows how long. And, you know, it shows. They're up 13 here with 3 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 from the 30. Ball going to be batted and then picked off. So Tennessee has it. 29-yard line, 1st and 10 after the interception. As Ben, went for a throw near side. It just got deflected, batted up into the air, and then picked off. Redskins, Washington football team, they still lead the Cowboys 22-3. Wonder what Cowboy fans are doing right now. I'm sure I know what Stephen A. Smith's doing, but Dallas trailing by 19 mid-3rd quarter. As the Texans are trailing by 21, just beginning the 4th quarter at home against Aaron Rodgers and Packers. Rodgers almost 300 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. Tannehill going to go down the sack back at the 35-yard line. Stephon Tuitt, Cam Hayward, Vinny Williams. And a bad block by Derrick Henry on pass protection. And then Vince Williams takes down Ryan Tannehill. The streak continues. They've sacked Tannehill now a few times. As Pittsburgh has, it's been 60-plus games with at least 1 sack. Ball batted down, deflected, moves downfield though, and then it falls incomplete. So now 3rd and 13 for the Tennessee Titans. Detroit and Atlanta in a close one down in the ATL. Bills only lead by 2 against the Jets, 12-10. So some of these games now, like I said earlier, been quiet. 1 o'clock window for the NFL. As always, they're coming down to the wire again. Tannehill over the middle, incomplete. Don't even know who the hell he was thrown to there. 4th down, and Gostkowski going to come out for a field goal. Cut it to 10 with 3 minutes to play here in the 3rd. This will be from 50-plus. So from 51 officially. Kick's going to be up and good. So Tennessee now cuts it to 10. They trail by 10, 27-17 with 2:55 to play. In the 3rd quarter, Pittsburgh all 3 timeouts. Tennessee 2 timeouts. They had to burn one there early in the 2nd half. But Pittsburgh going to get the ball back after a Ben Roethlisberger interception and then a capitalization by the Tennessee Titans with a 51-yard 3-point field goal. Ray McLeod back deep for the kick. Had a 50-plus yard punt return. This is going to be too deep. And a touchback. 1st and 10, Steelers from the 25. And once again, here comes Big Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. First and 10, Ben gonna hand off. That's Connor. He breaks a tackle, gets to the 30 for 5. 2nd down. Complete. McDonald to the 40, 1st down, Pittsburgh. And another update. What do we got? Bengals and Browns. Baker Mayfield, touchdown Cleveland. They take the lead over Cincy, 24-20. David Njoku with the score. That's a good close game. It was week 2 on Thursday night. Cleveland at home with a 5-point, 35-30 win. They lead by 4, early 4th. Ben in the gun, another handoff, and then Connor just slipped and fell. Held on to the football though, so no fumble. But 2nd down and no gain on the play. 2nd and 10. We still got to predict WWE Hell in a Cell as well, as I just remembered. So here at the end of the 3rd quarter, we'll do that. As mentioned, I was going to do that during halftime, but then we got talking about some football, and then we began the 2nd half, and here we are. So here at the end of the 3rd quarter, we'll predict WWE Hell in a Cell for later on tonight. So hopefully we'll tune back in for more live reactions. Play. 3rd and 10 for the Steelers. Under a minute now here in the 3rd. Ben getting pressured, he gets rid of it, batted up in the air again, and Tennessee has it. That might be an interception. They look at it, but they rolled incomplete on the field. Clock going to stop with the incompletion. 4th down and 10. Pittsburgh on a punt again. Can they finish? That's the big question now. Can they finish? That's incomplete. It hit the ground right before he caught it. Why don't you go deep down the far sideline? Or the near sideline, excuse me. 1-on-1. But here comes Jordan Berry again for another punt. Ball filled to the 10-yard line. Tennessee on the return to the 15. Might have got to the 16. We might get a 15-yard personal foul. Late head out of bounds after the play. Now we got a flag, so we'll see what that dirty laundry is from the Zebras. But Pittsburgh starting to shoot themselves in the foot now. Tennessee going to start off with some good field position here, it looks like, after the penalty on the punt return. And we are starting to see a lot more women officiate NFL football. 15 yards, automatic first down. Yeah, it was laid out of bounds on the Steelers. And yeah, that's not something you want to be doing. That's a good call. Like, he's out of bounds. Just stop. You don't need to take him down.
It's also the time, too, Charles, when you have an action that starts in the field of play, and as you said, it's kind of the second half.
So 1st and 10, Titans from the 30. They have 3 wide trips. Stop your screen left to right here. Final seconds of the third quarter. Tannehill going to hand off Derrick Henry. He gets to the 33 for 3, 2nd and 7.
Tackle made by Vince Williams of Pittsburgh. We're down to 25 seconds to play in the third.
If Tennessee makes a really strong run at this game at the end, we're going to look back at the sequence here. The second part of the third quarter through the end of it, at Tennessee's defense. And what they did to assist their offense in having opportunities.
Try and draw Pittsburgh off sides again here. They're not going to snap it before the quarter ends. So at the end of the third quarter now, the Pittsburgh Steelers lead the Tennessee Titans on the road in a battle of 2 5-0 unbeaten teams, 27-17. 15 minutes to play. Pittsburgh got to do something on offense even with a lead, because Tennessee is trying to inch back. Because credit to the Tennessee's defense, as they just mentioned, holding Pittsburgh to little to nothing here in the second half and the third quarter for the most part here as we'll begin quarter 4 once we return. But Tennessee on offense, iffy, a little bit better, but still not what we know they're capable of. So...
2 for 5 mix and match. Buy and play game in-app for a chance to win.
27-17 is where we stand, and Tennessee going to have a 2nd and 7 once we return. However, as mentioned, later on tonight, WWE Hell in a Cell of live reactions, play live here on YouTube, so be sure to tune back in. With the time, as mentioned, the past month and then leading into the next month with some more pay-per-views in the world of professional wrestling, AEW Full Gear, Survivor Series, TLC, with football season in general going on. Don't know for the most part if I'll have any more WWE or AEW prediction videos on the channel by the end of the year. I just feel like it's a little easier to do it with as many live streams that are happening, because last month, that's when it all started, of course, with Clash of Champions. Had something come up, of course, and then didn't get around to actually sitting down and recording my Clash of Champions predictions, so had to do that during the early NFL game that day. That was Steelers-Texans. And now a month later, during Steelers-Titans, we're going to preview WWE Hell in a Cell 2020, as we got 3 Hell in a Cell matches, all for championships. We'll get more into those in a second. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. And then for the most part, this is probably how it'll be today, of course, because Hell in a Cell is tonight. Because it's a process. Honestly, if you know how everything works, it takes time. Fourth quarter, though, beginning with Pittsburgh and Tennessee. 2nd and 7 for the Titans from the 33. Derrick Henry on the give, first down run for him. And he picks up about 9 yards, first down, Titans. Depending on how this game... a college football game on November the 7th. Survivor Series, we don't even know the exact date for that pay-per-view yet, so we'll figure that out over time. And then the same thing will stand probably for TLC, and then some other events as well. But live reactions, of course, play-by-play of pro wrestling and AEW with AEW Dynamite and pay-per-views, along with WWE, Monday Night Raw, NXT, and Friday Night SmackDown with pay-per-views. Titans first down run, Derrick Henry for a few yards. Second down, 12-22 to play. Tannehill over the middle, caught at the 30-yard line, first down Titans once again. And they were trying to move the pile, but then Pittsburgh with a stop. Yeah, Chris Wormley coming out playing some Steeler football today on defense. Good to see him out there. Excited to see what he's going to do. Ball was even batted down, deflected, and then A.J. Brown still, after he bobbled it, came down with it. Nice catch by him. 1st and 10 from the 24. Another run by Derrick Henry, first down, Tennessee inside the 10. And they'll have a 1st and goal at the 7. And they only trail by 10 with 11.5 to play. So they score. Pittsburgh's going to get the ball back up 3. They're going to have to do something on offense. They're going to have to hope to finish this game out and come out on top, pull away with a win. Derrick Henry got in there, I think, on that run for a touchdown. We'll see where they spot it. They say touchdown Titans. Okay, second down. Why the hell did you just throw your arms up in the air then and then signal second down? That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown by Derrick Henry. If I'm Mike Vrabel, I'm going to challenge this right now. Speaking of Chris Wormley, he's down injured. They're going to help him off the field. See if his knee was down by any means. Knee. And yeah, but the ball's in the end zone across the goal line, so to speak. That's a touchdown. No, that ball, I'm a Steeler fan, and I'm saying that's a Titan touchdown. Knee. Yeah, but the ball's right. Well, that's just like yesterday. Okay, yeah, he might be short. Yeah, he is down, I guess. They'll still punch it in on 2nd and goal. Tannehill's probably just going to sneak it here from the half-yard line. Fake the give to Derrick Henry, play action, back corner, and it's batted down, incomplete. Good coverage by Edmonds. I don't know why Tannehill went to the back to Smith. He had a man, I believe it was A.J. Brown, or Corey Davis, 84, in the flat far side. And that would have been a easier conversion. Now 3rd and goal from the inch line. Trying to come off. Hand off Derrick Henry, and he's going to be stuffed. Big stop by the Steeler defense. Big stop. Boom. We'll see what Tennessee does on 4th and goal. If they go for it or kick a field goal. I'd kick a field goal. You're only down 10. You kick a field goal, you're down 7 then with 10.5 and 2 timeouts. And Spillane, who made the stop, he's coming out. Points to his collarbone, so not a good sign for him as he's starting replacing Devin Bush as the Mike linebacker. Pittsburgh, in the meantime, going to call a timeout. Game's now 2 remaining. Going to make Tennessee think about it. If they want to kick it or continue to go for it. Spillane getting checked out on the sideline. He honestly might have separated his shoulder or broke his damn collarbone with that big of a hit on Derrick Henry. But he made the stop, and that's all that counts, all that matters. Kept him out of the end zone for the time being. I mean, 4th and goal from the inch line. Why don't you just sneak it in with Tannehill? You know, you can hand it off to Derrick Henry again, of course. But Pittsburgh making Tennessee think about it. You're going to kick it. You're going to go for it. Looks like they're going to go for it still. Because you don't get it, you're going to have to make Pittsburgh drive the length of the field to score, even though they're up by. Okay, so a holding on Pittsburgh. It's half the distance from the inch line. You can't get any closer to the goal line, but it's an automatic first down. So Tennessee's got 4 more shots from the 1 to punch it in. First and goal, and then Derrick Henry walks in, touchdown Titans. So the Titans coming back here now in the second half. They cut it to 4, pending the Gostkowski extra point to make it a 3-point game with 10 minutes to play. Pittsburgh's got to do something on offense. Can't just settle. And they've stuck with the run game with Derrick Henry. And what I say, just keep running the ball. I mean, it's a long game. When they were down 14-0, I knew it was going to come down to the wire like this. He's still expecting a close game late. And extra point up and good by Stephen Gostkowski. Titans now only down 3.
Football was a passion that turned into an obsession until one day I became an optometrist. Been watching for a lot of football.
Hell in a Cell matches with a Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Jey Uso, along with Bayley and Sasha Banks. The only championship title change that I could see happening is, in fact, I think everybody's thinking Sasha Banks is going to defeat Bayley. Standing tall anymore and a go home really doesn't mean anything. But normally when you stand tall, you lose. Sasha Banks stood tall Friday night on SmackDown. Bayley's the women's champion on SmackDown. It's a Hell in a Cell match. I'm going to pick Bayley to retain, even though Sasha's probably going to win. But I'm not going to be shocked if they have Bayley retain. That's why I'm going to pick Bayley to retain. However, with Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton on Monday Night Raw, I think it's time. It probably has been time to take the title off of Drew McIntyre and put it on Randy Orton. But in the meantime, you know, this feud's been going on since midsummer. They're using Randy Orton to put over Drew McIntyre in all these championship matches. We saw him face off at SummerSlam. We saw him face off last month at Clash of Champions on a night in a Hell in a Cell match for the WWE title. McIntyre's probably going to retain, but I'm not going to be shocked if Randy Orton wins. And then a I Quit Hell in a Cell match. Hell in a Cell Universal Championship match, that is, with the big dog, Tribal Chief himself, Roman Reigns against Jey Uso. There's no way in hell Reigns is losing, so Reigns is going to win. And then only a few other matches advertised. We've got Elias and Jeff Hardy on Monday Night Raw. Jeff Hardy's probably going to win, even though they'll try to make Elias look as strong as possible. Otis and The Miz then, probably the match that intrigued me the most after Law and Otis on Friday Night SmackDown this past week. This match is going to be for the Money in the Bank briefcase. So another championship match, basically. And they'll probably have Otis retain because Your Honor JBL favored in on Miz's side on Law and Otis this past Friday night on SmackDown. So Otis probably retains, but then they got to do something with the Money in the Bank. And then, okay, here's a step towards that. I think it would be best if Miz would win it, because then that gives him and Morrison something to fight over, have them feud for the Money in the Bank, and then whoever wins that, have that person cash in then and become champion. That'd be a good push for John Morrison at some point down the road, if in fact that's the direction they go, with Miz defeating Otis tonight. Otis has held Money in the Bank since May. They haven't done a damn thing with it. Now's the time to do something with it. Have Miz win the Money in the Bank briefcase from Otis tonight at Hell in a Cell. Otis stays on SmackDown. You probably bring back Tucker to SmackDown too to reform Heavy Machinery for the tag team division, because Otis by himself's not going to be doing anything by any means unless they have him retain the Money in the Bank, and then potentially cash in, and then Reigns is just going to beat the hell out of him. But if you have Miz win it, he's on Raw now with Miz and Morrison. Ben looking to throw on second down, complete. Eric Ebron will be third and short for the Steelers, under 10 to play, up 3, 27-24 on the road against Tennessee Titans. But then you have Miz and Morrison fight over Money in the Bank, and then potentially John Morrison beating Miz for the Money in the Bank once again, if they have another Money in the Bank match for the briefcase with single competitors, not a ladder match by any means, a pay-per-view. And then you give John Morrison a huge push and have him become a championship star in the WWE, have him become a WWE or Universal Champion. First down to Juju Smith-Schuster. Unfortunately, that's probably not the direction they're going to go. They'll probably Otis retain, and then Reigns will just beat the hell out of him, because they'll try to cash in on Reigns at some point. But the thing is, Money in the Bank, you can cash in on anybody, anytime, anywhere. It doesn't have to be Reigns, but he's on SmackDown, so that's why I say that. So we'll see what happens. But that's Hell in a Cell. Not much else advertised. We might have a few other matches added. We might have had a few matches added recently. I haven't checked, but we might have a few more added before the show begins. But tune back in tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, WWE Hell in a Cell live reactions play live right here on YouTube. We'll get more into Hell in a Cell then, so be sure to tune back in. Bengals take the lead at home against the Browns, as the Saints do as well over the Panthers. And all these games with Pittsburgh, Tennessee, Carolina, New Orleans, and Cleveland, Cincinnati, all at 27-24 in the fourth quarter. Ben on second down and 7 from the 25 out of the gun. Looking to throw over the middle. It's going to be batted down and completed in 10 for Juju Smith-Schuster once again. Third down and 7. Yeah, I haven't gotten anything for WWE Hell in a Cell with more matches potentially being added, but we still got a couple hours, of course, before the show starts. They're probably going to wait until all these 1 o'clock NFL games wrap up before announcing anything, or they'll add something to the kickoff pre-show or announce everything then. Pass complete, and Juju on the reception, 8 yards for him. First down, Pittsburgh. And we got an injured Titan on defense. We had some breaking news on Friday night as well. Former Steeler, Raider, and Patriot wide receiver Antonio Brown just signed with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He'll make his debut, as far as we know, now next week, as Le'Veon Bell's hoping to make his debut today with the Kansas City Chiefs on the road in the snow against the Denver Broncos. A game coming up at 4:25 on CBS. We'll get San Fran and New England here. Fox, no 4:25 game. They have, and honestly, it's a better matchup for Sunday Night Football with the Seattle Seahawks and Arizona Cardinals. Both Antonio Brown, he's been suspended. That was an 8-game suspension. So here we are, week 7. Bye week here shortly. So Brown going to be returning to the NFL. He's got to pass COVID protocols, though, of course, as Le'Veon Bell had to do the same with Kansas City. You have to test negative for 5 consecutive days in order to suit up and practice and then play. As we had thought maybe Bell would suit up to play for the Chiefs last Monday night against the Bills. Of course, that didn't happen because he just signed Thursday before. But former Pittsburgh Steeler weapons on offense with Bell and Brown, 2/3 of the Killer Bees. Boswell and Ben still in Pittsburgh, though. Now in Kansas City and Tampa Bay, respectively, and best of luck to both of them. I would think, honestly, both still have the potential to be, playmakers. Thing is, with Brown, it's always off the field issues. Bell took the money and went to New York. Jets dropped him. They cut him because they couldn't find a trade partner. And then he signed a day or two later, following that Titan Bill Tuesday night game, Music City Miracle in 2020, with the Kansas City Chiefs. And Kansas City now just ran the ball extremely well last Monday night against the Bills. Common opponents with all these teams now halfway through the season. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, in comes Le'Veon Bell. Ben, deep, complete to Juju, wide open. Got behind the corner, and it seems like this is Juju's drive. Seems like every pass has been complete to Juju Smith-Schuster on this fourth quarter drive, as the Steelers are looking to extend their lead and potentially seal the deal and pick up a win. Last time Pittsburgh played in Tennessee was on a Monday night, late November, back in 2014. And folks remember, that's when LeGarrette Blount was with Pittsburgh, and he walked out on the Steelers, and then they ended up cutting him, and he signed with the New England Patriots before winning a Super Bowl once again with the Pats. Back shoulder, far side, incomplete, intended for Deontay Johnson. And then, like I said earlier, too, they played in primetime on a Thursday night in Pittsburgh a couple years back, too. And Pittsburgh absolutely annihilated them. Another update, Cleveland and Cincinnati, so, deep history with this rivalry. And it's coming down to the wire once again with the Steelers and Titans. Kareem Hunt on a receiving touchdown. Browns extend their lead but to 4 once again, 31-27. However, Cincinnati at home versus the Cleveland Brownies since 2004 to 13-3. Now CBS is having some technical difficulties with some of the, and we can't even see this play. It's going to be caught by James Conner. They're having some issues with their cameras. And it seems like it's Nashville. It's when they're in Nashville for a Titan game. CBS is having issues with the cameras. Because 2 weeks ago, it was the same with the Tuesday night game with Buffalo and Tennessee. And now here we are, it's just freezing up. And it's not me, it's CBS. But maybe it's WWE Retribution wrecking some havoc. Ben looking to throw. He's going to find a man. It's going to be caught. Right at the first down marker on 3rd and short. They say first down. Complete, Deontay Johnson. You know it's still CBS because they cut black, but the ticker at the bottom with the scores is still up there. So CBS having some issues, and it seems like they're going to hit a commercial breaker. Maybe try to stop the game if they possibly can and get us back to the action as soon as possible. Yes, they are, of course, having some issues there. So we head to a commercial break during the Steeler drive. No timeout by any means. CBS just having some technical difficulties with cameras, it seems like. Something, one of the cables probably got loose. Or, okay. Yeah, why can't we see it? We go back to the NFL today. 4.5 to play. Technical difficulties in Nashville. Steelers lead 27-24. Okay, so we get an in-studio update now because they're having technical difficulties. We can't even see the game. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully they give some play-by-play.
Moving the ball down there to get
But this seems like Ben's drive now. He's hitting Juju and Deontay Johnson, finding them wide open. There's James Washington finally. He gets a catch. So they figured everything out. 3rd down and 6 for the Steelers. A field goal wouldn't be bad to extend it to 6, because then if it comes down to it, you allow Tennessee to score. You only need a field goal to win it then, 33-31. But a touchdown would be nice on this drive to cap everything off and go up 10 once again here with 4 minutes and change to play. Saints win by 3, 27-24 over the Carolina Panthers. Big first down pickup over the middle. And Deontay Johnson on the reception on the slant by Ben Roethlisberger. And now he's down injured, it looks like. He's holding his right leg. First down Steelers, though. He might have hyperextended his right leg. Ben, you could read his lips. It's bad. So we've had a lot of injuries in this game. Deontay Johnson getting checked out for an injury. Technical difficulties with myself for the most part, and CBS squared away. And just awful for Deontay Johnson to go down like this after the game he's had today. He's battled injuries all season long. And he's coming back from an injury today, and I believe he almost has 100 yards receiving, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to walk off, though, with some help. And then Malcolm Butler goes over and, hey, didn't mean to, hurt you by any means. Best wishes, hope all is well. It looks like he hyperextended his right leg on the tackle. Being tackled. Ben has 2 interceptions? Oh, yeah, the one before halftime in the end zone, and then the other one was batted down. Or it was deflected and batted up in the air, and Lyman got this right. 1st and 10 Steelers, ball inside the red zone now at the 17-yard line. 3.5 to play, 3:33 respectively. End around near side. And there's Jalen Samuels. They get him involved now. Swiss Army knife type of player from NC State. And he picks up a few yards. It'll be 2nd down. Pittsburgh, I run the football. I make Tennessee call their 2 timeouts. 2-minute warning coming up. You score a touchdown here, Pittsburgh does, you win the game. A few of these games wrapping up early. It's not even 4 o'clock yet. Some fast football. As the Cowboys still only have 3 points. Packers up 35-13 on the Texans. Saints victorious against the Panthers. Tennessee calls their 2nd timeout. They have 1 remaining. It'll be 3rd down for Pittsburgh. 3rd and 2 for the Steelers with 2:45 to play. Up 3, 27-24. Need a touchdown. Need a touchdown. Chase Claypool, Jalen Samuels, and Vance McDonald in a trips bunch near side. Play clock winding down, he gets it off. Quick pass on the slant over the middle, complete. Claypool right there at the 1st down marker. It looks like he has a 1st down. They'll probably bring Changang out for a measurement. We got a flag on the play too. Tennessee's probably going to call timeout if it's 4th down. They might keep it though because 2-minute mark's coming up. 4th down, he's short. But we do have a flag on the play.
He didn't tell you, but what he's saying is, we'll get
Needed the 7-yard line. He's right there at the 7-yard line. That's a first down. There's a flag. It's going to be against Pittsburgh anyway, it looks like. Pass interference on the Steelers. So they'll replay third down, okay. Pittsburgh going to get another shot. Potentially go for it and get it. Yeah, that's good. Good decision to take the penalty rather than decline it to have a 4th and inches for Pittsburgh. So it's going to be 3rd and long now for the Steelers after a pass interference. 3rd and 12. Ben's got to make a play. They need the 7 still. 3rd and 12. Empty set. Ben deep in the middle, and it's going to be picked off again. And that'll be a touchback. Oh my God, he had a man wide open 5 yards in front of him and he went deep. Pass was intended for Juju Smith-Schuster. I think that was Johnson over the middle. He had wide open, and then he, could have made a man miss and picked up a first down. But now the Titans with 1 timeout, just like yesterday. Pennsylvania team on the road. Leading and then potentially allowing a game-winning touchdown. Or forcing overtime. Who knows? Slant over the middle, complete to A.J. Brown. Going to be short of the line of the game, it looks like. It'll be 2nd and short. Tennessee trailed by 20. It was 27-7. It's now 27-24 Pittsburgh. 2nd and 1 handoff. Derrick Henry got a flag on the play. We'll see what that is. 2:11 to play here in the 4th. So the Steelers are going to have to make a stop now that Ben turned it over once again. We got a false start on the Titans. 5 yards. They'll replay 2nd down. They put 5 seconds back on the clock. 2:16 now to play. Pittsburgh is LeVar Ball. They've never lost in franchise history, including the postseason in the playoffs, when they've led by 20 or more. They led by 20 today. Now that's down to 3 with 2 minutes to play. First down, Tennessee. Trips top of your screen from the 41. Tannehill over the middle. It's caught. And now midfield, Tennessee is going to have a 2nd and about 2 coming out of the 2-minute warning. As the Titans trail by 3, 27-24. Now if I'm the Titans, I continue to run the football with Derrick Henry. Make Pittsburgh call their timeouts. You score, you win. Pittsburgh needs a stop. Pittsburgh needs a stop. They needed points on that last drive rather than an interception. But if I'm the Titans, I run the ball. You have 50 yards, 2 minutes, 1 timeout. Work the clock, run it out, and score. If not, kick a field goal, force overtime. So we'll have to see what happens here. But with 2 minutes to play, the Steelers lead the Titans by 3, 27-24.
She wanted a roommate who could help with the cooking, but she wanted someone who loves cats. So we got Chris Waldo. But one thing we could both agree on was getting Geico to help with our renter's insurance.
Yeah, switching and saving was really easy.
Pinky the ball now. Good.
Could use a little salt.
Visit Geico.com and see how easy saving on renter's insurance can be.
Someday I'll ask you a question that will change me forever.
Start your someday today with 20 to 40% off all bridal.
This is Nest Audio from Google. But someone wants to bring a little bounce to their house.
Hey Google, play this on all my speakers.
It's the Google Whole Home Funkifier. Introducing Nest Audio from Google.
Never go to a dealership again. Buy your next car on Vroom.com.
Will you sell us your car today?
Never go to a dealership again.
Just sold my car over.
Sell your car on Vroom.com. The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon, the network more people rely on. And by Frito-Lay, the official chips of the NFL.
From midfield, 2nd and 1 for the Tennessee Titans. Tannehill dumps it off. However, a loss of a yard. It's complete to Derrick Henry. It'll be 3rd and 2. Clock continues to wind. 3rd and 1. And Tannehill complete to Corey Davis, far sideline, 1st down, Tennessee. He gets out of bounds, so the clock stops. Mike Vrabel, run game. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball to win this game. Tannehill looking to throw, getting pressured by Watt and Dupree. Completes it on the screen to Henry, but another few-yard loss. Bengals come back, up 3 once again. 34-31 with a few minutes to play. Washington football team, the Redskins, is victorious over the Cowboys. Packers are going to defeat the Texans, it looks like. Pass over the middle, incomplete. Good coverage by Sutton once again. He's had a hell of a day. Had an interception last week. He's been making a few big stops. Now 3rd and 12 for the Tennessee Titans. Ball at the 46. Now, I mean, you're looking to get in field goal range. I mean, you pick a 1st down, okay, but you're looking just to get in field goal range for Gostkowski. And he's already good from 51 earlier. Man in motion. Tannehill looking to throw. Deep. And it's going to be caught by A.J. Brown, the 28-yard line, 1st down, Tennessee Titans. 1 minute on the dot to play. From the 25, 1st and 10, Tennessee. Tannehill just going to throw it away, incomplete, out of bounds. Nobody's there, though. That should be intentional grounding. Flag comes in. The intentional grounding is a loss of down, even with the incompletion, so it's still going to be 2nd down. But it's a loss of yardage, too. Yeah, he had nobody open. He threw it away. There's nobody there. That's intentional grounding. Intentional grounding on Ryan Tannehill. Spot foul. And even with a loss of a down at second down. With the incompletion on intentional grounding, a loss of a down, it should be third down, not second down. They need to change that goddamn rule. Makes no sense for a loss of a down to have the incompletion and then have it stay second down, even if it is a spot foul. Like, it makes no sense. Bucks and Raiders underway. This game was supposed to be Sunday Night Football. They bumped it up. Bills victorious over the Jets. Jets 0-7. You have yet to win a game. Adam Gase's seat getting a little bit hotter. But that's just your typical Jets. Hell, they're going to keep him probably. From the 35. 2nd and 20. So the Jets, your only winless team in the NFL still. Over the middle, it's caught at 28. Corey Davis with 33 seconds now. 30 seconds counting. Tennessee has one timeout. They'll use that to bring field goal unit on if they can't score a touchdown here and win it. 3rd and 13. Tannehill going deep. Far side has a man that's incomplete. Good coverage by Joe Hayden. No flag. And it's 4th down for the Tennessee Titans with 19 seconds to play. And in comes Stephen Gostkowski for the tie to force overtime. Good throw by Tannehill. It was just a little deep for Davis out of bounds. This is going to be from 46 yards. He's already good from 51 earlier, plus a few extra points. So for the tie to force overtime. And then Pittsburgh's going to have 2 timeouts and about 19 seconds to potentially get in field goal range for themselves to win it. Pittsburgh jumped. That was offsides. Kicks up and no good. But do they throw the flag? I thought they were offsides. I did. Kick's no good, though. The Steelers are going to win it. The Steelers are going to win it 27-24 over the Tennessee Titans because of a missed field goal. And I honestly thought the Steelers jumped offsides and he was going to get another crack at it. But no, wide right. Wide right. Too many missed kicks this year in football. Way too many missed kicks. No good. Kick is no good. The Steelers are going to hold on and win. They almost, and Ben is amazed. He's shocked. Can't believe it. Just, like, seriously, he missed that? He made it from 51 earlier, but he misses from 46. Tennessee can only stop at one instead of one timeout. But I doubt they'll call it because they can't stop the clock anymore. Game's over. Steelers are going to win it 27-24 on the road against Tennessee Titans to improve to 6-0. Tennessee falls to 5-1. Steelers win. Final score, 000's 27-24. Now we got an update. We're going to get bonus coverage with Cleveland on the road in Cincinnati. The Browns and the Bengals in the AFC North. As we have a 34-31 lead for the Bengals. 34-31 lead, yes, with 14 seconds to play. And the Browns have the ball. 2nd and 10. So they're going to catch both of these matchups with Cleveland and Cincinnati now this year. Big win for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now there's only 2 teams that are undefeated in the National Football League. The other, Seattle Seahawks, they play tonight against Arizona. So Pittsburgh could very well be the last one standing in that regard for undefeated teams if Seattle does in fact lose tonight. But they almost blew a 20-point lead. They were up 27-7, and they ended up winning 27-24. So they didn't do anything in the second half. However, they were able, because of a missed field goal, to tie it to force overtime. A little happier today than what I was yesterday, of course. Makes up for that to an extent. Thought for a second maybe there that this weekend was going to go to hell, and then Hell in a Cell tonight. Why the hell not? But, like, just as Baker going deep down the near sideline, and it's going to be caught. Touchdown Cleveland with 11 seconds. And the Browns are going to beat the Bengals. It looks like, oh my God. And then Cleveland, if they do win, they'll go to 5-2. This game back and forth. This game reminds me of Cleveland, Cincinnati from like 2004 to 2008, somewhere in that range. It was like 51-48 or something like that in overtime. And it was won on a game-winning field goal, or somebody missed a game-winning field goal in overtime. And then I can't remember who won, but these two teams in the Battle of OHIO, for the most part, they always put on a damn good show. And it was 35-30, week 2 on a Thursday night. Cleveland winning at home. Now on the road, putting the rumors to rest on if they can win and actually play good football in the division on the road, because they lost to Baltimore and Pittsburgh already this season on the road. Now in Cincinnati, extra point up and no good. So it's still a 3-point game with 11 seconds. So Cincinnati now only needs a field goal to tie it to force overtime here. Cincinnati's already gone to overtime with Philadelphia and they ended up tying. Cincinnati, of course, if Cleveland would have made that extra point, they need a touchdown to win. If they score a touchdown, they win now, regardless. But now just a field goal to tie it to force overtime. But yeah, Steelers almost blew a 20-point lead. They ended up winning 27-24, so happy about that. They're 6-0. And then now they'll go to Baltimore next Sunday before going to Dallas. So they found a way to win late, like I said. Today it didn't seem like they finished, but they finished. They came out victorious one way or another because of the missed field goal. And, I mean, there's really not much else to say about that. They stopped Derrick Henry for the most part. I mean, he had a few good runs in the second half, but they stopped him. And Tannehill, they pressured him. He was sacked how many times? He did air it out and tucked it and run all right, not as well as what we've seen. Good return to the 41-yard line by the Cincinnati Bengals. But with only a few seconds left on the clock, we're going to have a Hail Mary and a hook and ladder here from Cincinnati with the Tiger King himself, Joe Burrow. Yeah, there's no way in hell you're bringing on your kicker for a field goal, because you don't have any timeouts. You can't run a play in 4 seconds and move 25 yards to get in field goal range and expect to have time left. So you're gonna take a shot with a Hail Mary here, and Cleveland can't stop it either. Neither of these teams have any timeouts left. So Baker Mayfield potentially with a game-winning touchdown to Donovan Peoples-Jones, OU to Michigan connection there with 11 seconds to play. So we'll see a Hail Mary here from Burrow and then some hook and ladder. Clock's expired. Game's over. Here comes Burrow, airing it out deep. Has the distance, and it's, oh my God, it was almost caught. A.J. Green was standing right there. And the Browns are going to beat the Bengals for the second time this year, 37-34. They won week 2 on Thursday night, 35-30. And it was tipped, and then Green's right there he almost had, but then the defender moved in and batted it down. We're that close to having a Hail Mary win for the Bengals at home against the Browns. So this game back and forth, nobody really blew it, but it seemed like Cincinnati was up for the most part, and then Cleveland started inching back, and then it got into a back and forth contest as Mayfield and Burrow hug it out. Browns with the win, 37-34 in this bonus coverage game on CBS following the Steelers' victory over the Tennessee Titans. We'll get to some final stats and scores now. We'll see if we get any more. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like we're going to be getting any bonus coverage games. Final scores, well, so far the Raiders are up 7-0 already against the Bucs. So Tampa Bay probably hasn't even touched the ball on offense. Still to come, Chiefs Broncos in snowy Denver. Wonder if Bell's going to have a decent game or not. If he is, in fact, even playing, I don't know. But keep an eye out for that Kansas City run game the rest of the year. Long story short, I talked about it last week. The 49ers on the road against the Patriots. That's about to kick off in 10 or 15 minutes or so. Jaguars, Chargers, along with Seahawks, Cardinals as well. That's Sunday Night Football. And then Monday night, tomorrow night, Bears, Rams, with some final scores from around the league. It seems like all these 1 o'clock games have now wrapped up. Lions came from behind and beat the Falcons 23-22. Browns 37-34 winners over the Bengals. Saints 27-24 over the Carolina Panthers. Bills 18-10, giving the Jets their 7th consecutive loss. They're still winless. The Washington football team, the Redskins, beat the Cowboys 25-3, and then the Packers 35-20 over the Houston Texans. Final stats and scores though for Pittsburgh and Tennessee. Like I said, the Steelers defense, they played well. They made stops when they had to. They gave up a little too much though in the second half, but a win's still a win. I'll take it. Pittsburgh 6-0 now. Big Ben Roethlisberger was 32 of 49, 268 through the air, had 2 touchdowns, and then 3 interceptions. 2 of those coming in the end zone. 1 right before halftime, and then 1 right before Tennessee's final drive before Gronkowski missed the potential game-tying field goal to force overtime. Connor had 20 carries for 82 yards. Good game from him for the most part. Honestly, behind him, though, they didn't have any other rushes. McFarland, 1 of 6. Samuels, 1 of 5. Snell, 2 of 2 for a touchdown. And honestly, that's the difference, other than a few Boswell field goals. If you look at it, because Ben's 2 touchdowns compared to Tannehill's 2 touchdowns, well, those cancel each other out. And then Derrick Henry also found the end zone, and Gronkowski has a field goal, plus a missed field goal, and then Boswell was 2 of 2. So really, it's just the kicking. It's the 2 made kicks by Boswell and the 1 of 2 from Gronkowski with the missed game-tying field goal to potentially force overtime. The Steelers win 27-24. Pittsburgh receiving. Roethlisberger dishing out a few different receivers here. Juju Smith-Schuster, 9 catches for 85 yards. Deontay Johnson had 9 catches for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hopefully he's going to be okay. As it looked like he hyperextended his right leg, it looked like. Eric Ebron, 6 catches for him. A quiet 6-catch afternoon for 50 yards. James Conner, 329. Vance Ronald McDonald, 214. Ray McLeod had 2 catches as well for 12 yards, and then a big punt return. To his credit too. Chase Claypool, only 1 catch for -2 yards. So credit to the Titan defense for shutting him down. But in the meantime, Ben was able to air it out and dish it off to his other playmakers at running back, wide receiver, and tight end respectively. Tennessee in the meantime, the Titans losing 27-24 off of a missed potential game-tying field goal to force overtime. Ryan Tannehill was 18 of 30, 220 and 2 touchdowns. You know, that's good. Not good enough though. Derrick Henry was 20 for 75, had 20 carries for 75 yards and a touchdown. So the Steeler defense shut him down, as mentioned, for the most part. Had a few big runs in the second half. His long of the afternoon, though, was only 17. So Pittsburgh, we'll see if they can stop now Mark Ingram and J.K. Dobbins, along with Gus Edwards, next week against the Baltimore Ravens. We got San Fran and New England coming up, along with Kansas City and Denver, as there's snow on the field. Snow's falling. It's supposed to snow, I guess, the whole entire game. And Le'Veon Bell, there he is, suiting up for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's only played in 2 games this year. He's banged up a little bit. Jets cut him, signed with Kansas City. Kansas City coming off of a road win against the Buffalo Bills last Monday night. In the rain, now they have to play in the snow on the road against the Denver Broncos. But it's, for the most part at least, starting to look a lot like Christmas. But we also got Jags and Chargers from LA. But this is fall turning into winter weather, you know, for the most part of the country here eventually. So the snow has in fact arrived in the sport of football here in 2020. But yeah, Steeler defense shut Derrick Henry down for the most part, and he had 20 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown. A.J. Brown had 6 catches for 153 yards receiving and a touchdown. Corey Davis, 6 catches for 35 yards and a touchdown. And then Humphreys had 1 for 19. But the Steelers victorious 27-24 over the Tennessee Titans. That'll do it for myself here this afternoon before WWE Hell in a Cell in a few short hours. So be sure to tune back in live right here on YouTube. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. As always, links in the description below. Hopefully you'll tune back in this upcoming week for more live reactions, play as well. AEW Dynamite, WWE NXT Halloween Havoc, and next week on Halloween, Penn State and Ohio State. Thank you for watching. Pittsburgh Steelers victorious over the Tennessee Titans to get to 6-0, 27-24. Be sure to tune back in a little bit later on at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for live reactions, play of WWE Hell in a Cell. Steelers 27, Titans 24.